Amsterdam, a city which offers the world its numerous canals, rich sailing history, culture, and plenty of fun. Site of game one of our World League doubleheader here in week 3. How do you do, everyone? Eric Clemens welcoming you to our FX studios in New York. We have a dandy of a twin bill for you this afternoon. Let's start with game 2. Two of the better teams through 2 weeks of the World League season. The Frankfurt Galaxy paying a visit to the unbeaten Barcelona Dragons, who play their home opener at Olympic Stadium. And coming up in a few minutes, the London Monarchs try to go to 2-1 against the winless Amsterdam Admirals, who struggled mightily on offense, so much so that Coach Al Luginbill has demoted his starting quarterback John Saka to number 3. Mike McCoy gets to start this afternoon. And speaking of starts, let's get you all set up for the kickoff, joining our colleagues Nick Halling and Bill Moss, who are standing by at the arena.
Welcome to historic Amsterdam in the Netherlands and this fantastic state-of-the-art stadium, the Amsterdam Arena. Week 3 in the World League, and it's the Amsterdam Admirals against the London Monarchs, a big-time World League rivalry. I'm Nick Halling, joining me once again, Bill Moss. Bill, 2 teams with problems, London with injury problems.
Well, yeah, you take a look at the running back position. Atlanta Falcon, Tony Vincent, he has a strained left ankle, and that's going to cause problems for the running game, because what they need to do, the Monarchs offense, is protect Stan White. And without a running game, Nick, they're going to have trouble doing that.
Problems, too, for the Amsterdam Admirals. Their offensive line is shaken up with injuries and a new quarterback for them as well this week.
Mike McCoy, remember the Green Bay Packers practice squad guy? Well, he takes the reins now, and it's going to be an important game for him. But if he struggles, expect Al Luginbill to bring in Jay Fiedler, get him into this program right away.
Sparks always fly when these 2 teams meet. We're back with the kickoff after this.
Today's game is brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice pants. Remember those great rock and roll bands? Now you can rock again with the great rock and roll instrumentals. Rock on with 22 fabulous hits from the great rock and roll instrumentals. Only $9.99 for compact disc or double-length cassette. Then audition other fabulous rock and roll era albums. There's no minimum to buy, cancel anytime. So call now and let the good times roll again.
To order your great rock instrumentals, call 1-800-843-6611. That's 1-800-843-6611. Or send $9.99 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
The 1997 World League season continues. We're in the Netherlands and Amsterdam in particular, the Amsterdam Arena, where the Amsterdam Admirals are playing host to the London Monarchs. One of the bitterest rivalries, if not the bitterest rivalry in the World League. And 2 teams in search of victory tonight as well. London coming off a disappointing defeat against the Rhine Fire last week. They need to bounce back. As for Amsterdam, they've got to get rid of that duck egg in the W column there. And what better place to do it than in front of their own fans here in Amsterdam. Bill Mars is with me as ever. Bill, the pressure really on these 2 teams tonight.
Yeah, it really is. And especially for the Amsterdam Admirals at the quarterback position, Mike McCoy. First start in about 2.5 years. They took John Saka, they benched him, and then they went in and they made him their quarterback.
And Lionel Taylor, well, he's got some problems offensively as well. We just don't know where Tony Vincent is going to figure today, if at all. And he's got a quarterback that in Stan White of the New York Giants that has really got to show, because he's had a slow start.
Well, it's tough to be good when you're on your back, and that's been the problem, is Stan's getting hit a lot.
And that's for Al Luginbill. Well, just about everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this guy this season.
Yeah, and they're looking at 0-3 in the face. They've changed their offensive philosophy around this week, too. They're going back to what they did last year. We're going to see how well they picked it up in 1 week.
A lot of comings and goings for Amsterdam, who have a pretty good record against the London Monarchs, but it was the Monarchs and particularly Vincent in the last game that won comfortably. 212 rushing yards for Tony Vincent in London. But as we say, Vincent's status far from certain. Don Silvestri, the New York Jet, gets the game underway. Fielded by Ron Carpenter, the former New York Jet. Carpenter finds a seam. A pass to 40 to midfield, still going, and eventually brought down by Claudius Wright, who was the last man to get him. But a great start for the Admirals.
Boy, it was a great start. It was a great job by the wedge people.
That's what set the whole thing up, with the guys up front. I want you to watch the wedge guys form and come together and just blow the hole open in the middle of the field. It was not Rod Carpenter did not have to cut. He did not have to find a seam. The wedge people just plowed everything open.
On the carpet.
And Carpenter, remember, led the entire NFL in 1995 in kickoff returns, and he's taken the ball all the way to London's 37-yard line from where Mike McCoy has his first start, and he goes on the ground to Brent Moss, who plows his way through for about 5 yards before he's tackled. Mike McCoy making his first start since the 1994 Freedom Bowl. Really a guy that's got a lot of got to answer a lot of questions tonight.
He's got a lot to prove. You know, it's his first time he's actually taking the reins and running this offense. Things are new, and he's got to show that he's capable of running a team.
The one-back set with 3 wide receivers. They give it to Moss on second down and short, and Moss plows his way for good first down yardage. Al Luganville was saying he wants to run the ball, and Brent Moss is going to be the guy. Lewis Cates eventually in on the stop, and a big opportunity this for Brent Moss to show what he can do. He's working primarily in a one-back set. Dedrick Smith, A.C. Tellison, and the Japanese player Masato Itai. The wideout, John Davis from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, is the tight end. First down at London's 25. And they give it again to Brent Moss, who gets stuck. This time Ben Williams comes in and makes the stop. Not much doing there. Brent Moss working behind a revamped offensive line that lost its starter at center, Earl Scott, but Jerry Kraft, the big man at left tackle, really the anchor of this group.
The slim man. He slimmed down to 340. Last year he was 380. He said, I wanted to lose 40 pounds and really come into camp in shape. So he's an in-shape, trim, 340 pounds, if you can imagine that.
We could take a tip or two from him, Bill. Second down and long. McCoy drops back to pass for the first time and gets good protection and can't find his man. There's nothing wrong with the pass, but Brent Moss simply couldn't hang on. The London defensive front that was really rocked back on its heels right from the start. Herman Smith and Jeff Hunter, the defensive ends. Lewis Cates, the Englishman, and Ben Williams are the tackles.
So far early on, they've had their hands full. I mean, they're attacking Amsterdam, that is attacking the center of that line. They ran the ball twice right up the gut on it.
Third down and 8 for Amsterdam, looking to capitalize on that great start given them by Ron Carpenter's kick return. McCoy again with time, has a man wide open, and a great catch from Dedrick Smith to the 9. Kevin Gaines on the stop. Dedrick Smith, just his second catch of the season, but that was a good one.
Dedrick Smith is a guy they really haven't been able to get into the game plan much. Here's Dedrick Smith. He's lined up in the slot receiver. Now, it's man-to-man coverage. He's going to come up the field and hook right in behind the linebacker. Watch him sit behind Newble. See that? Perfect positioning when you're playing man-to-man defense.
And it's first and goal at the 10. They'll have to go the whole 10 yards. Moss, once again, the ball carrier, is met after a couple. Ryan McCoy, Kenny McIntyre coming up and making the stop. The linebacking crew for the London Monarchs featuring Rick Newbill at the middle linebacker position. The London Monarchs leading tackler, and he's flanked by a couple of good ones in John Solomon and Ryan McCoy making the tackle there. Solomon, who won a Super Bowl ring with the Packers this season.
Yeah, he did. He was on the practice squad, but he got the ring. But Newbill has been the key to their defense. He is very active as a middle linebacker.
Second and goal at about the 8. Again, it's on the ground. Moss with a lot of running room, goes in. Touchdown, Amsterdam. What a start. One of the things we thought, Bill, when we looked at this game, we thought the team that establishes the run is going to win this game. Amsterdam will be pretty happy with that series.
Boy, I'll tell you, 4 big runs, and 4 big runs right at the heart of the London Monarchs defense.
The former PSV Eindhoven soccer player, Silvio Diliberto, will attempt the extra point. He had one last week. He's got to get another one now. And the Amsterdam Admirals have a 7-point lead over the London Monarchs. 11:27 left, first quarter. We'll be back.
It all started with this dime tip. Suddenly, I was the boss. So I gave myself a day off and went shopping. It was so great. Everything I tried on fit like it was cut just for me. Later at the salon, Candace Bergen shows up with my phone bill.
This will make your day.
Every call is just a dime a minute when I'm home, evenings and weekends. On the way out, I pass the dime on. Who wouldn't want a great rate like that?
Call now for 200 minutes free.
They're coming from Japan, from Russia, from everywhere, but they all wind up in the same place. The Wound & Wound Toy Company, one of the world's largest collections of wind-ups, LA's hottest movers, shakers, and big talkers. So bring your inner child, your real child, and your Visa card. Because at the Wound & Wound Toy Company, you won't wind up with anything. Using American Express, Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
An 8-yard touchdown run from Brent Moss has ignited this Amsterdam crowd here in the Amsterdam Arena. The perfect start after the perfect kickoff return from Ron Carpenter that really set that up. And Brent Moss, incidentally, 5 carries for 24 yards on that drive. That'll give the coaching staff plenty of encouragement. Oliver Quass will kick it off. How will London respond? Ronnie West and Abram Smith are the deep men. West carries it at his own 8-yard line. Gets past the 20 to the 25. He's got a bit of a return going to about the 33 before he's brought down, stopped by Rich Jurkovic. Let's take another look at that touchdown from Brent Moss.
Okay, they got zone blocking up front. Now watch the block by Ron Lewis, the down block. That sets the whole thing up on Lewis Gates. And then Newbill, 94, the linebacker, just gets caught up in traffic, and it's a heck of a run by Moss. 24 yards on 5 carries. And Nick, he came into this game with only 38 yards.
Excellent start, very encouraging for the Amsterdam Admirals. Ed Hobbs gets the carry, gets it to the 40-yard line, and London have come out fired up as well on that opening play, about 7 yards before he is tackled. Stan White quarterbacking for the London Monarchs, and as you said earlier, Bill, Stan has really been given the runaround a little bit in his first 2 World League starts.
Well, it's hard to throw passes from your back, and he's had to get rid of it quick. Now, Lionel Taylor pulled him last week thinking Stan made a lot of mistakes, but after watching the film, he said he made a mistake. He never should have pulled him.
2 tight ends set for the London Monarchs. Hobbs gets the carry again, doesn't get much. The Japanese player, Kawaguchi, in on the stop, number 55. And Tony Vincent certainly hasn't started the game. They've given it to Ed Hobbs. And got a bit of a tussle down there for the ball. And Amsterdam, Phillips trying to argue that they've forced the fumble and recovered it. This really will compound London's problems. Everybody doing lots of pointing.
The referee and the umpire afraid to make a decision.
Certainly not much.
Third down.
Hobbs. Third down is confirmed. The backs and receiving core for the London Monarchs. Vincent and Hobbs. Vincent will play, they hope. Stall and Malone, the wideout allocated from the NFL. Mike Titley, the tight end. And it's Titley in motion on third down. And they go to Titley, who's got a first down and more before he's pushed out of bounds by Kawaguchi, who's made a very bright start, and Jay Phillips coming up from safety. The offensive line for the London Monarchs features a change at the tackle position with Pat Walsh coming in at left tackle. And they said that was just a tactical change because they got pushed around a little bit last week. The strength of the line is to the right-hand side. Seth Dittman starts at left guard, and on a national series, the Englishman Tony McKenzie will come in, and McKenzie is in there now. First down for London. Amsterdam's 48-yard line. White fires, has a man. Toderick Malone gets past the first tackle, brought out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Kawaguchi, that's his third tackle, the Japanese player. The the defensive front is the strength of the Amsterdam Admirals, specifically at tackle, where Ridgely and Howe are two immovable objects. On the outside, Miller and Evans.
Yeah, Troy Ridgely being back into the lineup really helps out Gary Howe. They put Troy into the lineup last week, got his first start back from the knee injury, and Howe had 3 sacks from him.
7 yards on the pass, but flags come in on 2nd down and 3. Gives us a chance to catch our breath a little bit here as we wait for the official decision.
False start prior to the snap. Offense number 87. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Steve Brooks, the second tight end. The linebacking crew for Amsterdam can play well, but have been a little bit inconsistent. That's been the knock against them. Mark Lillibridge from the Miami Dolphins, flanked by Cedric Figueroa. Trevor Wilmot will share time with the guy who's in there now, Masafumi Kawaguchi, and he will make plays. 2nd down and 8. And movement, Pat Walsh at left tackle jumped very early. And this really hurts London, who've had a 2nd and 3, and they're going to face 2nd and long after this.
False start prior to the snap. Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
The defensive backs, well, if you're an Amsterdam fan in '95, you'll recognize all 4 of these guys. Jay Phillips has just come back to the team after shoulder problems. They were all starters 2 years ago.
Ron Carpenter spent some time with the Jets in the NFL.
So from 2nd and 3, make it 2nd and 13, and White goes straight over the middle and will pick up around 10 of those yards. And Mark Lillibridge joining the tackles, but Steve Brooks hanging on. Steve Brooks, one of Lionel Taylor's most favorite players. He's a real tough guy. He'll make big catches for him.
Yeah, and he's back into the lineup now. You know, last week he wasn't in the lineup that much, and they didn't have a running game. And he said, how come? Why don't I have a running game? Well, he sat there and he saw Brooks. And he said, I got to get this guy involved. Not only does he have sure hands and runs good routes and take a hit, but he's also a heck of a pass blocker.
3rd down and 3, and a completion to the 30-yard line, and London keep the drive alive. Larry Stallworth making the catch and hanging on for 10 yards. Ron Carpenter draped all over him, but London converting a very difficult 3rd down and 3, and Larry Stallworth coming up with a big reception.
And they need that out of Larry Stallworth because they lost their speed guy, Alan Allen. Alan Allen last week, he got back in the lineup, caught a touchdown pass and separated his shoulder, but he's gone now, and they need Larry Stallworth to step up.
Stallworth took a hit. Ronnie West comes in to replace him. And White, with a lot of time, goes high, looking in the direction of Steve Brooks, who had Robert O'Neill, the safety man, draped all over him, but without an uncatchable ball, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Well, the one thing that London's doing is they're moving the ball nice, Nick. And I haven't seen this in either of their first 2 games. Their home opener to Frankfurt, they didn't do this. And last week, they couldn't do anything against the Rhine Fire. But what they have done is they've changed up personnel. They were a 2-backs team. Now they're 1 back and 2 tight ends.
Titley in the slot. They go back on the ground. Ed Hobbs is wrapped up, met, hit, and will lose a couple of yards. Mark Lillibridge, the Miami Dolphin, and Cedric Figueroa converging to make the stop.
You know, the one thing they do when they're going to run the ball is they got the 2 tight ends in there. That time they split the tight end out, and that's the result. It's Lillibridge off the corner and in his face. Nice fill by Mark Lillibridge. But for London to get their running game going, they needed 2 tight ends on the line of scrimmage.
6 defensive backs in, and a flag comes in the Amsterdam backfield, and the pass is incomplete. But there is a flag in the Amsterdam secondary. Stan White says it's going against the Admirals.
Well, the field judge threw it, and he's the one in the back of the Amsterdam defensive backs. He's at the bottom of the field. And another flag's thrown.
Illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field. The 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Steve Brooks checking out Terrence Davis, the wide receiver who only joined the Monarchs on Thursday. has checked into the lineup. David Davis, number 88, allocated from the Kansas City Chiefs as London face a third down and around 7 yards to go. Trying to keep this opening drive alive. White, the blitz comes. White had to get it off. Looked for Titley, couldn't find him. Jeff Russell storming through on the safety blitz. And they send out Don Silvestri to attempt the field goal.
One of the problems for the Monarchs has been the protection. But watch the blitz and watch Hobbs. Hobbs is over there, the fullback, and it's pocket protection. And on pocket protection, the fullback has to pick up the blitzer. He was on the other side and never saw Russell.
Silvestri with a 44-yarder. He missed from 44 in the season opener against Frankfurt. This one certainly has the distance, and it hits the upright and bounces back. The Amsterdam Admirals stop the London Monarchs, whose impressive drive comes up empty. 6:23 remaining, first quarter. We'll be back.
I wasn't looking for love. With just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my way!
Searching for major movies? Turn on FX Major Movie Sunday. A major Hollywood movie every Sunday. This Sunday at 8, Anthony Edwards packs his pocket protector and goes head-to-head with John Goodman in the zany comedy Revenge of the Nerds.
Well, let's get those birds!
Dressed for success, Anthony Edwards unites the socially challenged.
You're gonna love it.
John Goodman and Anthony Edwards star in Revenge of the Nerds. Turn it on this Sunday at 8 for FX Major Movie Sunday.
I'm Jackie Garner-Kersey, and I have asthma, but it hasn't kept me from setting 4 world records because I control my asthma every day. And even if you think you have your asthma under control, you should call the Asthma Control Program from Glaxo Wellcome. They'll send you a free kit full of the latest information to help you understand and manage your asthma better. You'll get lots of useful tools, including a 4-step program that can help you prevent attacks before they occur. And best of all, you'll receive updated information as soon as it's available.
Many asthma patients, including you, can become symptom-free if you follow the daily treatment plan your doctor prescribes. And the Asthma Control Program from Glaxo Wellcome can help. So call 1-800-328-9207 right now.
The sooner you get with the program and stick with the program, the sooner you can take control of your asthma. I don't let asthma control my life, and you don't have to let it control yours either.
Yeah, too tight. Got it? All right, good job.
7-0 Amsterdam over London. And the arch motivator himself, Al Luganbill, must be relatively happy with the start his team's made there, Bill.
Well, yeah, they look like a totally different team than what we've seen. And, you know, one thing about the head coach in this league is Al doubles as defensive coordinator. So, as a defensive player, you have to talk to your head coach, and you have to remember, well, I talk to him as a defensive coordinator, or I also remember he's my head coach.
So the Admirals with the ball. A.C. Tellison is split wide left. Robert Hall wide right. Dedrick Smith in the slot. McCoy will throw. He gets hit by Malcolm Scholl. And Scholl came into this game fired up. He was not protected by the Amsterdam Admirals, and he wanted to prove a point or two to Al Luganbill. That's proved 1 point.
One thing that the London Monarchs do is their front line is they are active. Watch Scholl. Watch him on the stunt. Here he is here. And he's going to come crashing down inside and just blow up the guard right through his outside shoulder. That's an end tackle stunt. Nice sack by Malcolm Scholl.
Loss of 6. They go back on the ground. Brent Moss looks to turn the corner. Can't find an awful lot. Kenny McIntyre came up, and Rick Newbill was there on the stop as well. That'll bring up third down and long for the Admirals.
And Scholl, Malcolm, he was in the backfield again, almost took the handoff there. He was pumped up at the beginning of the game, Nick. He was out there. He's telling the guys, come on, bring it on. He felt he should have been protected by the Admirals. He gave him 2 good years there, had 7.5 sacks 1 year, and he felt that, you know, hey, it was a slap in the face that they left him unprotected. And Malcolm's having himself a heck of a ball game right off the start. But the thing about it is, Malcolm needs to play with that emotion every week.
He is certainly fired up from the shotgun on 3rd and long. McCoy goes upstairs as Dedrick Smith again, who made the catch over the nickelback. Claudius Wright, that's 2 big 3rd down catches for Dedrick Smith.
Look at the confidence of Mike McCoy. He's just walking back. He comes up there. He's like, hey, I got it. He came into the ball game last week and moved this team. Threw a couple interceptions, but moved the team. Has nice protection up front, finds his guy, and threads the ball. That's a well-thrown ball on a deep out. You know, a lot of quarterbacks are measured by how well they can throw the deep out. What kind of arm strength does he have? That was a nice ball.
Smith is in the slot. Tellison wide left. Hall wide right. Brent Moss gets the carry, spins, gets to midfield. Rick Newbill brings him down at the 49-yard line. A pickup of 3 for Moss. They're certainly mixing it up, Bill, running and passing. They've got the Monarchs defense off balance a little bit here.
Well, you know, in the first couple of weeks, Amsterdam tried a couple of different things. They tried to change their offensive philosophy. They said they were going to be running the ball, and they never really got around to it. And Al Luganville blamed himself. You know, I think he found out that there's a big difference between good sound reasons and reasons that sound good.
2nd down. Pressure comes, and McCoy just stumps it off. Furman coming through from linebacker and applying the pressure. Well, he must have been disappointed by the fact that they came up empty on that first series offensively, but they were moving the ball, the Monarchs.
Oh, yeah, and also you heard Lionel just say right there, hey, we're not getting any pressure on the quarterback. He's having time back there. Let's put something on him.
Another big 3rd down for the Amsterdam Admirals. They've gone to Smith, number 1, on the last 2 occasions. This one, 3rd and 7. And they're looking for Robert Hall, who got past his man, but the ball overthrown. Kevin Gaines was there in coverage, and the hunting unit will come on for the Admirals.
Sometimes you get your guy open so much and you get so excited, you just want to get the ball there too fast. Robert Hall, the ex-quarterback out at wide receiver, went into Kenny McIntyre, put a spin on him, and lost him. And Mike McCoy just couldn't get the ball to him.
So that brings up Brian Greger, who's allocated from the Panthers, who will kick to Todrick Malone of the Washington Redskins, who stands and waits at about his own 12-yard line. Greger gets it off, another good kick. Malone leads that one well away, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback for the London Monarchs, who will take over at their own 20-yard line. Well, there are a few different rules in the World League from the NFL. You can get 4 points if you convert a field goal of 50 yards or more. And the Bills' favorite rule of all, the defense scoring 2 points if they can block or get hold of the ball on an extra point attempt and return it. The 35-second clock keeps us all breathless.
Yeah, my least favorite rule.
And a change there, the receiver used to just have one foot in bounds last year. This year he needs both. So that's in sync with the NFL. Larry Stallworth is back in the game after being shaken up, the Monarchs, and Stan White hands it off to Ed Hobbs, who plows his way through. Got some good blocking on the right side of the line there, Hobbs, and will pick up about 7 yards, bring up 2nd and short up for the Monarchs.
Watch the block by Terrence Wisdom, number 68, the guard. He comes out and he gets into the linebacker. That's Lillibridge, and that's what springs the whole thing. He gets the push down, the slam and slide, then he cuts the linebacker. Look at the size of the hole. Nick, I believe you could have run through that.
I might have made a yard or two. Possibly not. 2nd down and short. They go on the ground again. Hobbs just had to get to about the 28-yard line. He just bounced over the 30, and that will bring up a 1st down for the Monarchs. Both these teams stressed, we must establish the run.
Well, you know, for obvious reasons. First of all, you want to control the clock, but the big reason is both teams want to help out their quarterback. If you get a running game, you're going to buy time for your quarterback because then you get your play action, you get the bootleg out of it. You're going to have your quarterback a fighting chance to at least see the field. They haven't had that in the last 2 weeks, either team.
2 tight ends in for the Monarchs. Hobbs still in the backfield. Hobbs gets the carry once again, has a lot of running room, and will pick up around 12 yards and another 1st down before Robert O'Neill steps up from safety. And Hobbs is looking fired up.
Well, I'll tell you, Hobbs is off to a heck of a start. And the reason is the guys up front. I mean, he did a nice job of sitting back there and finding the hole. Now, Hobbs, remember, is playing tailback in the one-back set.
Timeout, 30 seconds, timeout.
The last 2 weeks, they had Hobbs as a fullback. They're running two-back stuff, and he had to lead up, and Hobbs doesn't like to do that. Hobbs doesn't like to play fullback and lead up in it. He wants the ball, and he's getting a chance to get it this game, and he's showing what he can do with it.
The guy who was in camp with the Chicago Bears last season, and a guy that knows that he's got to step up and shoulder the load if Tony Vincent is hurt, which he obviously is, because behind him you've got Avram Smith, who's very inexperienced, and Victor Mohammed, who's the Englishman. So one of those three has got to step up, and Hobbs has got the first shot, and he's obviously come out and said, yeah, I'm going to shoulder the load here.
6 carries, 30 yards, off to a heck of a start. If you're a running back, and you want those numbers.
Stallworth and Malone, the wideouts, they stay with the 2 tight end set with Hobbs in the backfield. Hobbs gets the carry, slips, goes down at the 40-yard line, and they'll lose a couple of yards on the slip. Both teams can be reasonably happy with their start on the ground. Brent Moss averaging almost 5 yards a pop for Amsterdam. Ed Hobbs, and even 4 yards a carry for London. On 2nd and 12. White will go upstairs. Looks, has a man, it's Steve Brooks, the big tight end. Nice tackle coming in from the safety man O'Neill at about the 48-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 for the Monarchs.
And Steve Brooks into the picture. I think that's a good move by Lionel Taylor. And he was back up as a tight end. And now they got him 2 tight end formations, and they can do more things. And it's really going to help out your running game and your passing attack when you get to it. I think that was a good move on Lionel Taylor's part by putting Brooks into the picture.
He's even better looking than you as well, though. 3rd down, White in trouble, gets away from Cedric Figueroa, goes downstairs, downtown, looks for Larry Stallworth, and it was broken up by Ron Carpenter, who made a huge play. And Greg Ivey, the punter, comes on for the Monarchs.
Boy, what a great job of recovering by Ron Carpenter. Ron's been around. You know, he spent 96 on the Jets roster, and he's a guy that, and when you play the corner position, you're going to get beat. But it's what you do when you get beat. And you see Ron's beat, and he just never gives up. He just keeps fighting, scrambles back there, and the ball's in the air. He's able to jump up and turn around and get a hand on it.
Greg Ivey has been in Europe for precisely 48 hours. Joining from the St. Louis Rams, and gets off the first punt of his World League career. It's not a good one, and it's out of bounds at the 30-yard line. No chance of a return for Jeff Russell. A little bit of jet lag there for Greg Ivey, perhaps. And that is the end of the first quarter. The Amsterdam Admirals on Brent Moss's 8-yard run, leading 7-0.
This is the sound of small businesses doing more business with Fridays free. They're doing more because thanks to Sprint, all their long distance on Fridays is free, while the rest of the week they're still getting Sprint's low flat rates. Even better, call now and get Fridays free until the year 2000 with no term commitment. Call 1-800-598-5000 for Fridays free, only from Sprint Business.
In every city, in every bottle, in every bubble, lies the formula for refreshment.
What would you pay to look like $1 million?
Time Life presents The Firm, the exercise videos that are making firm believers out of people.
I have shape and definition in my waist, and my butt looks like a 19-year-old after 3 kids.
Other tapes are a waste of money. The only tapes that work on the market today are the Firm tapes.
Aerobics will burn fat, but the combination of weights and aerobics can burn 3 times more fat. The Firm combines weights with aerobics in every exercise. The Firm guarantees visible results in 10 sessions.
They said, give us 10 tries and we'll make a difference. It really did. Immediately I started seeing results.
Call now for Volume 1 of The Firm for just $4.99. Use your credit card and get The Firm's 5-day abs free. Every few weeks, receive a new Firm video, so call now.
It's a whole new body. The Firm pays to give you a whole new body.
To order The Firm, call 1-800-967-2244. Use your credit card and receive the 5-day abs video free. Or send $4.99 plus $3.49 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
7-0 Admirals over the Monarchs. Start of the second quarter here in the Amsterdam Arena. Nick Halling with Bill Maas. Despite Amsterdam having that lead, I don't think the Monarchs will be too disappointed the way they've started offensively.
Well, they made some nice changes, and their offense for the first time looks in sync.
Ralph Dawkins now in the backfield for the Amsterdam Admirals. Dedrick Smith in the slot. Dawkins gets his first carry of the ball game. It's a good one. He bounces off tacklers to about the 39-yard line and will pick up 8 yards before he's stopped by Reggie Holt.
There's a little change up in running back right here. Now you got Dawkins in. Now watch how he hits the hole. You saw Moss hammering the hole. Now watch how Dawkins just slides and glides through the hole. He's not, backs like Dawkins are never going to get hit direction. You saw he took the hit, but his body weight rolled to the right and he gained another 2 yards. That's the kind of runner he is. He's a slide and glide guy.
Guy that was with the New Orleans Saints for a season. Career-threatening injury, but has bounced back. McCoy goes downtown looking for Robert Hall, who makes the catch at the 15-yard line. Kenny McIntyre was there, but Hall watched it all the way in.
Kenny McIntyre got victimized last week against the Rhine Fire, and now they've gone after him twice already. They remembered what he did before when I explained to you how Hall lost him. Well, watch Hall find the ball. And you know, one thing about Hall, they moved him out to wide receiver. He was the third-string quarterback. He's such an athletic guy. They needed receivers. They moved him out there. And the one thing, when you have a receiver quarterback, he knows where to go.
McCoy gives to Dawkins, who's got a big hole, works his blockers, stays on his feet, close to first down yardage. Just powering through. And this is very encouraging for Amsterdam. They can rest Moss and bring in Dawkins and not miss a beat.
And this is what Amsterdam wanted all along when they got Moss and Dawkins. They wanted these two different styles. And it's amazing what a shot in an arm, a big pass like that can do. You know, everybody's playing with confidence now. You can see it in the blocking, you can see it in the quarterback and receivers, and the running backs, whichever one it is.
Ball is split wide right. Masato Itai, the Japanese player, wide left. Smith in the slot. Dawkins gets the carry, dives in, touchdown Amsterdam! They made it look so easy.
Great move, Ralph Dawkins. That hole was filled. I'm sorry, Nick. That hole was filled, and Dawkins just made the right cut, and it was all end zone.
Silvio Diliberto can tack on the extra point. A hold of Brian Gregat, and the soccer player comes up big once again. 14-0 Amsterdam over London. 12:57 left in the first half. Ralph Dawkins doubles the advantage.
Australia's Great Barrier Reef. You don't need fins to swim under it. You don't need wings to fly over it. You don't need 4 legs to run through it. But you just might need to bring this. Because Reef Watch Air Tours, Wild Track Jeep Safaris, and Pro Sail Schooners will take you on the ride of your life. But they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
It all started with this dime tip. Suddenly, I was watched. So I gave myself a day off and went shopping. It was so great. Everything I tried on fit like it was cut just for me. Later at the salon, Candace Bergen shows up with my phone bill.
This will make your day.
Every call was just a dime a minute when I'm home, evenings and weekends. On the way out, I pass the dime on. Who wouldn't want a great rate like that?
Call now for 200 minutes free.
Welcome back to Amsterdam and the futuristic Amsterdam Arena, the talk of Europe. It was open in August. It's got a 51,000 capacity. One of its features is that there's a road running directly underneath it. And the other key feature, perhaps, is it's got a retractable roof, the only one of its kind in Europe. And it takes 20 minutes to open or close it. And the whole place reinforced with 9,000 tons of steel. Really a very impressive structure indeed. And equally impressive on the field in the arena, the Admirals have jumped out to a 14-point lead over the Monarchs, who need to respond. Quass kicks it off. Ronnie West fields at the 12, trying to work behind the wedge, and is met and stopped and won't get a lot. Now, everything working so far for the Amsterdam Admirals. Trevor Wilmot on the tackle.
Watch the run here. That London runs a stunt, and this thing gets clogged up. But watch the move by Dawkins. He just takes it to the outside and up and over. Holt. Strong safety.
This is a guy whose whole career hung in the balance after he tore up a knee. He went back to the New Orleans Saints, rehabilitated, didn't really get much of a shot with the Saints, and has come back certainly hungrier in 97 than he was in 95. So the pressure on now for the London Monarchs. And Stan White. White finds Stallworth, who beats one man and slips over after a gain of about 9 yards, working on Ron Carpenter, but Stallworth couldn't quite keep his feet either.
Yeah, they like that matchup with Carpenter. You know, they've gone after him twice now. Once in real deep time where he recovered, and then they went after him again. You know, Mike, you know, he's feeling good about himself. He's moving the team, but, you know, as your first start, you're going against an NFL veteran playing a lot of games.
You know, it's early days here, Bill, I know, but I just get the sense that the Monarchs need something out of this drive. Hobbs, the ball carrier, doesn't get a lot. Met by Mark Lillibridge, the middle linebacker from the Miami Dolphins. Didn't need a lot. Was close to first down yardage. Had to get to about the 36-yard line. And looks like he's got enough for a first down. Working underneath. Lillibridge again on the stop, but about 13 yards for Titley. And the Admirals were saying this is their most dangerous receiver.
Titley's been their go-to guy. Watch him work the seam. He takes the linebackers right up the seams, and then he sees the opening. It's called a Y option. That's a tight end option. He's going to find out where the linebacker is sitting on him, then he's going to go to the open side. The linebacker was sitting inside. He took it to the numbers before he found it.
One of only 3 players with 100 World League catches to his name. And White sees up some room and slides after a gain of 12 yards, enough for another London Monarchs first down. And White stepped up, saw he had some space in front of him, and just went for it.
Well, I didn't think Stan White was a great scrambler, but Lionel Taylor told me, no, he said, this guy's good. He can move. Well, he's showing me something right here. And he's got the second base slide, though.
First down at the Amsterdam 40. White with a lot of time, looks for Stallworth once again, and he's got him, but are they going to say he's out of bounds? No, he put a foot out of bounds. coverage from Jay Phillips, and Stallworth a little bit unlucky there.
And then White goes at Carpenter again. And maybe it's a New York thing. He was with the Jets, he was with the Giants. Watch the 1 foot. That's inbounds. The second one is heck of a catch.
Last year it would have been a completion. The new rule that came in said both feet have got to be in bounds, just like in the NFL. But Stallworth, who's been criticised for dropping a few balls, has made a pretty bright start with this game. Malone, wide left, Stallworth wide right. The entire Amsterdam defensive front jumps, flags everywhere. And, of course, everybody pointing at everybody else.
I think that's going to be on Lunenburg.
Look, it is. Number 71, Chris Lundberg, is another Monarch who was formerly with Amsterdam. Walt Coleman will tell us.
False start. Prior to the snap, offense number 71. 5-yard penalty.
Bill, you
Still
called
second
it.
down.
Chris Lundberg was waived by Amsterdam in 1995. He says, there's only 2 games. These are the 2 I want to win against these guys.
Here's Lunenburg. It's going to be a draw play they're starting, and he wants to get him shoved outside quick. He wants to invite Avo Avestesian up the field and then push him outside. He was setting him up for the draw, but Chris Lunenburg just had the wrong snap down.
Terrence Davis in the game, wide left, and Ed Hobbs has trouble. And the pincers were closing on Hobbs from the moment he got the ball, and he may have just got a couple. That'll bring up 3rd and long for the Monarchs.
See, it's the little things. It's the little things it's been with the Monarchs. They've had problems on 3rd down. And the reason being is 1st and 2nd down, they have penalties like Lunenburg's offside. They haven't been able to get a running game going. And you can see for this season, it hasn't been real good. They're about 50% tonight. They need to be better.
And this is a big one. 3rd and long. They go upstairs. They're looking for Terrence Davis, who's got it and hung on.
What a catch.
For a guy that's been with the team just 48 hours, that was a heck of a catch. Tommy Jones on the coverage. But that was a great catch. It was all Davis.
That was a super catch, and Stan White threw a great ball. Terrence Davis is over to the right of your screen. He's just running a go route. He's going to see what kind of speed that corner has, Tommy Jones. And what a beautiful throw by White. Takes a little shot there as he delivers it. He stands in the pocket. Threw a nice ball.
Davis getting the congratulations of his teammates, and it's 1st and goal London. Avram Smith in the backcourt. Smith gets the carry, doesn't get much. He's stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Hey, you know, Nick, the thing about it is, you know, Terrence Davis, he's there 48 hours, as you say, and, you know, you don't have time really to gather all the information. So they say, hey, the guy's fast, let's send him on a go route. They sent him flying down the numbers in a foot race with Tommy Jones.
Now the Monarchs need to convert this one to get back in the game, get their self-confidence back. They've moved the ball without scoring any points. And trouble for White, who's hit and goes down under the tackle of Bronzell Miller. Troy Ridgely in there as well. Pressure coming on all sides. And now it's Amsterdam's defense turn to step up.
And this is what's happened to them all along. Watch 99, Ridgely will go right past Terrence Wisdom. That was the force upfield. Here's Ridgely running a direct line. If Ridgely wasn't there, White would have had time to run out to his right.
10-yard loss, 3rd and goal at the 15. Terrence Davis checks into the game. Stan White calls a timeout.
Timeout.
7:22 left, first half. London facing a big 3rd down when we return.
It's the largest set ever built. The largest set ever destroyed.
Somebody tell me what the hell is going on?
There are going to be a million dead people if we don't evacuate.
Sunday on FX.
Put as many people in front of it as it takes.
Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche take you behind the scenes
This is no good. Get out of here.
as one of Hollywood's hottest motion pictures explodes. It's the making of Volcano. Sunday at 6 on FX.
Word is you guys are writing a book. Yeah, it's about the fine art of power hitting.
We're calling it Babe Ruth Schmabe Ruth.
It'll teach kids early on, because art takes years of fine-tuning.
Just ask Picasso or Mozart.
Some say your power hitting started the same day you moved to the thin air of Colorado.
You know, Larry and I are getting a little tired of that.
This Monday, the New York Mets take on Cincinnati, or Colorado meets Houston, only on FX.
The hum of the saw, the wail of the drill, the rhythm of the plane. If you love the music of woodworking, listen to this free TV offer. It's 101 shop tips, packed with secrets from the pros like a jig for routing evenly spaced dados, straightening uneven edges. You'll get 101 time-saving tips, and you get it free when you order cabinet making for just $9.99. Packed with hundreds of full-color photos and illustrations, cabinet making shows you how to master every cabinetry technique and get picture-perfect results. Preview future volumes from the Art of Woodworking with no commitment to buy. Use your credit card and get this video, Shop Secrets from Master Craftsman, free. So call now to order cabinet making for just $9.99 and get 101 shop tips free. Use your credit card and get your free Shop Secrets video. Call now.
Call 1-800-935-8484 to order cabinet making and get your free 101 shop tips. Use your credit card and you'll receive your free Shop Secrets video. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen.
Back in Amsterdam, the London Monarchs facing a big 3rd and goal from the 15. How big is this play, Bill?
Well, I'll tell you what, they really need a score. They got down here and they had a bobble sack on second down and put them in this hole. They need to get out of it. Amsterdam showing blitz. And here they come.
White has a man, but it's nowhere, and it's incomplete anyway. He was looking for Mike Titley. It was nowhere near a touchdown. And that's going to bring out the field goal unit once again. Don Silvestri, who hit the post from 44 yards earlier, will have another attempt. This one much closer, and Al Luganville must be satisfied with his defense holding firm there. Not been the happiest of starts or returns for Silvestri, who was with the club in '95, now with the New York Jets. He's 0 for 2. He was a much better kicker than that. And this, a 33-yarder to open London's account. And he's done it. And Silvestri will be happy to finally get on the board himself. London will be happy to get on the board as well. 14-3 it is now. 7 minutes left, first half.
Silvestri right now, the Jets kicker. He's the only one they got.
Yeah. They released Nick Lowry, one of many NFL allocated players, 112 in all. That's well up from previous years. And you can see there, over 100 World League players are currently, or were on NFL rosters last year. And I keep saying this, Bill, that the line between the World League and the NFL keeps getting blurred with each passing year with this thing here in Europe.
It does, you're right, Nick. I mean, the guys are getting better over here, and the players know that come over here from the NFL that they're here to get experience, and it's quality experience. And it's well worth them coming over here to play 10 games to enhance their career.
Well, Silvestri will kick to his former teammate, Ron Carpenter, who's already ripped one off, and he takes that one at the goal line and has a seam again to the 30, and still on his feet. He's only got Claudius Wright to beat, and Wright has to make that tackle and does. But Carpenter puts the pressure on the Monarchs again. Another huge seam for Ron Carpenter, and didn't he exploit it?
If you're not familiar with who Carpenter is, Carpenter led the entire NFL in kickoff return averages. Watch the job by the wedge again. I mean, there was no move. He just ran straight in one direction, and the wedge opened everything up for him. And he tries to get to the near sideline, but Claudius Wright was there to take him out of bounds. And like I said, Carpenter, he led the whole entire NFL, Nick, in kickoff return per average in '96.
And I was surprised when he was cut. Dawkins in the backfield. They fake to Dawkins. McCoy with time, gets some pressure, gets on his toes, stays on his toes to about the 27-yard line before he's stopped. What could have been a busted play turns into an 8-yard gain, and the Monarchs have an injured player down. It looks like Rick Newbill. In fact, it's John Solomon, the outside linebacker from the Green Bay Packers.
Well, good awareness here on the part of McCoy, but I want you to watch what he does, a little trickery. Newbill doesn't know where the first down marker is. Look, see, he fakes him out. He's way past the line of scrimmage, and he fakes like he's going to throw the ball. And Newbill stops. Instead of coming up and running right through him, he stopped thinking it's going to be a pass. But McCoy was already past the line of scrimmage.
John Solomon limping out of the game. 8 yards for Mike McCoy, who's looked very composed behind a makeshift offensive line that has Frank Leahy playing center in place of the injured Earl Scott. Dawkins gets the pitch back and loses the ball, but looks like he may have fallen on it. The little breaks in this game, Bill, are going Amsterdam's way.
Well, if you're Al Lugan, Bill, you think it's about time. Because nothing has gone their way the first 2 weeks. They try to run the stretch play to get to the corner, but see Davis, the tight end, he doesn't get the defensive end Jeff Hunter blocked. You need your tight end. If you're going to run that play to the outside and get it on the corner, the first thing you have to do is get your defensive end reach block. That's on the outside shoulder and get him hooked so you can contain his position.
3rd down and 4, loss of 2. McCoy goes upstairs and hits a man right in the numbers, but A.C. Tellison reacted as if he wasn't expecting the ball to be thrown anywhere near him.
And I think they're a little bit disappointed in A.C. Tellison as a receiver and what he brought to them. I mean, it should have stuck in his face mask. If his face mask was a little wider open, it would have just stuck in there, and you got to turn and run with it. But as a receiver, they thought he was going to be their go-to guy, Nick.
Yeah.
And he's really turned up empty for him.
That one very catchable. And it sends out the punting unit. 4th down at the 30-yard line. Brian Greigott will punt. Kevin Gaines is the deep man. Very high snap. Greigott gets it off. Hunter was applying the pressure. Greigott looking for the coffin corner and finds it. The ball down inside or at about the 5 or 6 yard line. So as the London Monarchs get themselves ready for another series, a question Bill Mars has asked me many times: how do you become a World League player? Well, working up in the booth is not one of the routes that you normally take, Bill, but you can be allocated in the NFL, you can be protected from previous seasons, you can be drafted, you can just show up and play, or of course you can be a non-North American, usually European national player. That is the construction of every one of these 6 World League teams.
I think it's a good format, too. I mean, you get a wide variety, you get to build a team, you know, you have some NFL guys with experience in there that some of the younger players look up to that have never made an NFL team. And then as you look at the European structure of the whole thing, you get some of the locals here where they have football clubs. A lot of football clubs in all these countries, and they get a chance to actually play professional football here and learn.
White's numbers better than they've been in the previous 2 games. And White will try and take off and gets nothing before he's down at about the 5 yard line. Another loss. It looked like Mike Evans came in from defensive end and stopped him.
Mike Evans has really picked up his game in the last 2 weeks. He looked strong last week against run and pass. And right here, he's working on Wall. Lunenburg, I'm sorry. He takes Lunenburg to tackle upfield. And then, oh, geez, what was that? He's duck hunting. Sack him, then shot him.
That's going too far. From his own end zone, White only just gets it off, and it bounces off the hand. Flag comes in, and Ronnie West pounded his fist in the ground as if to say, I should have hung on to that one.
Ronnie West came to the club as a running back, and then they moved him out to wide receiver as well. You see, he gets behind the linebacker, sits down, he's wide open. I mean, he's just worrying about where the safety is, I assume.
Offense, number 73. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
Walsh assessed for the hold, and a 3rd down at their own 5 yard line for the Monarchs.
And you see flashes from the Monarchs, Nick. You see they can do some things. They can move the ball, and then they drop it, and they have penalties. They get a little running game going, and then they back themselves up again.
Malone and Davis are the wideouts. White goes down the middle and again can't hang on. A flag comes in. Mike Titley can't hang on to that one. Jeff Russell in coverage, but a flag.
Oh, that's going to be a big personal foul against Mike Evans. Roughing the passer. They're going to get a 1st down out of that.
That'll be just about the first break the Monarchs have had in this game, and they need one. against London. Nothing going London's way right now.
Holding. Offense, number 73. Penalties declined. 4th down.
2 holds in a row for Pat Walsh. The big 6'9" tackle. Connecticut.
Pat, that's his first start out there at left tackle. You know, that left tackle spot's a tough spot. I mean, that takes a lot of repetition and work, footwork especially, to be able to man that position.
Here's another guy in a tough spot. Greg Ivey punting from the back of his own end zone. Didn't have a good first one. They came after this one. And it's a wobbler. A flag is down once again. Jeff Russell has the ball to about London's 30 and still on his feet. Another flag comes in. Reggie Holt eventually on the stop at the 25, but we've got a couple of penalties to work out here.
I believe the first one's going to be illegal man downfield. And the second one is a hold on the return.
Both penalties going against the Admirals, which does give the Monarchs a little bit of breathing room perhaps, because they're deep. The Admirals are deep in London territory.
Well, they'll take the offsides and re-punt, because there's going to be a 10-yard penalty, and that would make it 4th and about 2.
Who was offside?
29, Jay Phillips.
I think we all heard that. Phillips has only just rejoined the team.
Offside on the defense, number 29, lining up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. We have an illegal block in the back during their return on number 81. That penalty will be accepted. 1st down.
And when the dust has settled, the Amsterdam Admirals will have the ball at London's 40-yard line or thereabouts.
Well,
Latario
Nick,
Rashad.
I really think they made the wrong decision there, because if they accepted the offsides penalty, they would get to re-punt. It would be 4th. They were punting out of the end zone there. It would be 4th and 2 at about the 20, and they could punt and back them up even further. Now, with choosing this penalty, they give them the ball still in their territory.
Yeah, it's actually at the 49-yard line, and 15 yards were marked off from the point of the infraction. And once again, it's Amsterdam trying to turn the screws here. Brent Moss is back. Tellison is wide right. Itai, the Japanese player, wide left. And McCoy is going to throw, gets it off, looks in the direction of Tellison, and he's got it, and in. Touchdown, Amsterdam. Kenny McIntyre victimized again. And Tellison comes up with a big play. And any disappointment that he may have given them earlier, I think he's erased that now.
Watch the play action fake. That freezes the safety. See the safety bite on it? Then he's nowhere to help in the middle of the field, and A.C. Tellison takes it right to the goalpost.
And this game getting ugly for the London Monarchs. Mike McCoy is having an excellent start. Looks very confident and assured. Diliberto with the extra point. That one doesn't go through, so it's 20-3 in favour of the Amsterdam Admirals with less than 4 minutes remaining in this first half. Bill, they are a team transformed.
What happens to Kenny McIntyre here is he knows he has inside help. And the inside help is Holt, his safety. So he plays off, and then he's going to trail. He's running with him, but there's nobody in the middle of the field. The safety never gets there because the safety bit up on the play action pass. And A.C. Tellison needed that. He needed that for him, and the Amsterdam Admirals needed it from him.
Tellison allocated from St. Louis Rams. Just a couple of catches coming into this game, as you say, Bill. had been disappointing, but I wonder if that's going to ignite his season and his career, perhaps. Quass kicks it off. Smith and West are back. West steps in front of Smith and takes it and runs into a stack of trouble in the shape of Roosevelt Collins, the first man there. London will take over at their own 24-yard line. In a hole here, 20-3 down in the Amsterdam Arena, 3.5 minutes left, first half. And Amsterdam looked so different from previous outings. They've just averaged a dreadful 110 yards a game going in. They're close to 200 here in this first half.
That's amazing, and that's their total. You read that right, total yards. That's what they had coming into the night. And that was no offense, nothing. They didn't have a running game, they didn't have a passing game. And because of the running game now, because the emergence of Moss, you saw how that has helped their passing attack.
And the emergence of Moss seems to fire up Dawkins, who looks sharp. McCoy has got some time, as you say. He looks like a very assured passer. And that little fragile thing, confidence. The Admirals have that. And a 20-3 lead. Trouble here for White, who goes down. Trevor Wilmot came through unblocked. And that play became a question of survival for Stan White.
And when you get down by this much, Nick, you know you're going to pass. Now watch Trevor Wilmot just flatten Avron Smith. Avron tries to step up there and get him, and he knocks down the quarterback, the running back, the ball, everybody. Actually overplayed Stan White.
And White having another tough time. Flags come in. Bronzel Miller, the right defensive end for Amsterdam. Seemed to be a cross before the ball was snapped, may have been drawn.
False start prior to the snap.
And was.
Offense, number 74, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Seth Dittman, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer, getting assessed. And they're feeling the pressure, Bill.
And they've moved him back out to tackle now. Dittman is at tackle, and McKenzie's at guard. And they took out Walsh, who had 2 penalties against them last series. So you can see offensively up front, they're struggling a bit, and this isn't the time when you're down by 20.
Walsh is on the bench. They're looking for Davis. That ball batted. And lucky not to be intercepted as far as the Monarchs were concerned. And the pressure coming on every play. Jay Phillips applying the pressure to Stan White there, who is getting no time to do anything.
Well, Phillips is strong safety, number 29. He just steps up, and it's a blitz. And he just gets his hands up. Well, that's Johnson. Tommy Johnson, number 25. Tommy Johnson decided to switch numbers tonight.
Another huge third down. They go on the draw play. Hobbs has some running room, but not much, and he is dragged down way short of first down yardage by Mark Lillibridge. And Greg Ivey comes back out again.
Oh, when you're 3rd and 20, 25, draw play just doesn't seem logical to me.
No.
But actually, they need to get Hobbs going again, because the little bit of success they had was with the running game.
That's the 2-minute warning. We'll be back after this.
Life is
The race against yourself.
setting goals. Focus. The face plan. Reaching goals. 2,837 free throws. Putting back what you lose. Being the underdog.
Life is
Beginning.
being me.
Me.
Life is a sport. Drink it up. Searching for action, excitement, and laughs? Turn on FX Primetime, starting at 8.
Get yourself a team.
Catch the explosive thrills of the A-Team. Then at 9, Don Johnson turns up the heat with the look and excitement that is Miami Vice. And at 10,
Here to protect and serve.
Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans push the envelope of good taste.
Pilot to co-pilot, we're going down in flames.
On In Living Color, FX Primetime, tonight starting at 8. 3 shows, 1 place, FX.
Just what does it take to get in shape and stay that way? If you think you need to go to a gym to lose weight, get in shape, and have a body like this, think again. This is Bowflex, a real workout at home that's so good we guarantee results in 6 weeks or your money back. Think about it. You could get results like tighter abs, finer lines, a stronger chest, and more defined legs in only 6 weeks. It's not magic, it's Bowflex. All of the most effective exercises, plus a great aerobic rowing feature, ready for a quick workout whenever you are. Nothing could be easier. The results you want are only 6 weeks away. Don't think about it anymore. Take action. Call us and ask for a free video and brochure on the machine that works like an entire gym, but fits anywhere in your home.
Eric Clemens here at our FX studios in New York. Coming up on Docker's Halftime, Dave Jennings joins us, and he'll help us dissect so far the action here in the World League. Now let's go back out to Amsterdam.
Stand.
And with just 2 minutes remaining, the Monarchs, trailing 20-3, have a fourth down on long, and it looks, Bill Mars, as if the Admirals are going to be working pretty good field position again when they have the ball.
And I think, Nick, it's because of London's running game. I mean, they've got themselves in a hole. Their offense isn't built to just drop back and pass.
Ivy gets it off. Jeff Russell fields it to 39, gets past the first man there, gets to midfield, turns the corner and just slips. Victor Mohammed, the English national player, tripped him up. Otherwise, Russell had a lot of room in front of him, but he still got it to the 45-yard line. Tomorrow there's a big game coming up in the World League. Well, Mars, I think you'll be there. The Scottish Claymores against the Rhine Fire. Two teams that look as if they've got the tools they need to take them to the World Bowl.
Yeah, a heck of a battle, actually. Both those teams needed a win, you know, because this thing still, who's going to host the World Bowl is wide open. Nobody knows. But these two teams, they're looking good.
First down for the London Monarchs. Claudius Wright playing left cornerback, and all sorts of movement there. Kenny McIntyre not on the field for London. And all kinds of movement on the line. Coleman will give us his voice once again.
Prior to the snap, offense number 62. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Matt Brown, the guard in there. They had to reshuffle their line a little bit. Earl Scott got hurt last week, and they moved Leahy down. And then McKenzie came down, but now Scott's in there.
First and 15 from the shotgun. Pressure comes. McCoy loses the ball. And that thing's bouncing around there. And Herman Smith is going to be the first man there. And London get a huge break. That is unbelievable. The Amsterdam Admirals were in control of this game. And who could have foreseen that?
Well, they're running blitz here. Here comes Newbill, but what happens is McCoy just loses the grip. He tries to get rid of the ball. He sees it blitz, and he's going to get rid of the ball, but as he pulls the ball up to throw it, he just loses it out of his hands. Well, you know what? As he runs back, just loses the ball. Right out of his hands.
Ed Bowman applying the pressure, and now London need to turn that into something, but pressure comes on for Stan White. Cedric Figueroa all over him, and it's incomplete. They can't get the passing game going to Ronnie West there. That'll bring up second down with 1:36 left.
Well, London needs to settle down. They have an opportunity here. They have an opportunity to turn things around, break some of the momentum that Amsterdam is just flooded with right now. They need to settle down. They came out, they pass, and then here comes Amsterdam's rush right at them. They didn't know what to do.
They still have a couple of timeouts. They stay with Ed Hobbs in the backfield. White gets pressure again, gets away, then goes down. Troy Ridgely straight through the middle. And the defensive line is winning the battle in the trenches for Amsterdam right now.
Well, watch Ridgely. Here's Ridgely. And here he comes on a big spin over Wisdom. That's Terrence Wisdom, number 68. He's going to take it upfield, then watch. Whirlybirds around, turns his hands down. Good job, Troy Ridgely, of work in the hands.
Lionel Taylor calls the timeout with a lot to discuss on third and long.
Hey, we go on with empty.
and look for somebody.
Empty overload, that's dangerous.
Tell him, let's go.
Empty overload. Empty's no back in the backfield. You have all receivers.
And you have to feel some sympathy for Stan White, who's getting no time. I mean, just look at those numbers. I don't care who you are. You can be Brett Favre. If you're getting those kind of pressures, you're going to struggle.
You see Hobbs. Hobbs comes out, and he's at the slot receiver. They got 3 wide over here. That's the empty backfield.
3rd and 16, and poorly thrown ball this time to Todrick Malone. It was thrown behind him and incomplete.
London seems to be rushing their offensive stuff, Nick. They seem to be, they seem desperate to score, which they are. But when they get desperate like that, they still have to keep composure, and that they haven't.
Yeah, you're right, Bill. They played that series as if it was a crisis. It's not a crisis yet. Don Silvestri, who missed from 44, has a chance from 45. They came after the kick. It's got the distance, and it's good. With 1:22 left, the Monarchs reduce the deficit, but by 3 when they really were looking for 7.
That's a nice kick by Silvestri. 44-yarder. You know, you come over here, you have a chance. He knows you with the Jets, and he's known for his leg. He was great on kickoff. Look at the accuracy here with a big rush coming at him. 44 yards. And one thing I noticed, I saw Silvestri in the lobby with you, Nick. I said, who's that? Is that a tight end?
Yeah, he's huge.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. He's about 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big guy. There's all this kickers are wimps that all you defensive guys like to kind of push. So.
Hey, everybody's getting bigger now. I gotta watch what I say, huh?
Yeah, when you've got field goal kickers towering over you, Bill, it's a little bit intimidating, isn't it?
Hardly.
You're a hard man, Bill.
I'm vicious. I'm just vicious.
Hey, you bringing up Sid Vicious?
That's your boy.
So 1:22 left in this first half. 20-6 now. It could have been so much worse for the Monarchs, but the big turnover. And the squib kick from Silvestri is fielded by the Amsterdam Admirals.
Mark Lillibridge on the wedge man and the linebacker. You know what? I'll tell you, London needs some work on their coverage team. They haven't been able to do it on kickoffs or punts. And when your middle linebacker is able to run the ball against your coverage unit, you've got problems. Look at Lillibridge. He's the head guy in the wedge. He takes it. Looks like he played some fullback in his high school days.
Silvestri making the stop. But all the way to Amsterdam's 49-yard line. Once again, with 1:15 left in this half and their timeouts, they've still got time to try and put some more points on the board. Brent Moss carries for about 4 yards, and a flag comes in late in the London defensive backfield. They've had excellent field position all afternoon long. These returns the Admirals. Bob Coleman again.
We have no national players
I thought so.
on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, well, it's a national series this time. And what that means is every other series you have to have a national on the field, and London didn't have it. You see that sign right there? Every other series, that sign comes out on the first down marker, indicating that it's a national series. You have to have your national player on the field as a starter. And London didn't have one out there that time.
That's the flag of Europe, by the way, Bill. You knew that, didn't you?
Of course I did.
Roel Blenman, number 21, has checked into the lineup, playing right cornerback. McCoy gets pressure, gets rid of it. I think Blenman, number 21, is getting playing time because Lewis Cates was certainly hurt earlier on, who's the other national on defense for the Monarchs. Limping around. There is Blenman, tremendous special teams player, former member of the London Olympians, has really come on very strongly, and this is his 3rd season of World League football. They've got him covering A.C. Tellison. I wonder if that's a matchup that Mike McCoy likes the look of.
Blitz.
2nd down, and they're going in the direction of Tellison, and they've got him, and it's knocked out. Kevin Gaines and Blenman combining. They knock the ball away and they flatten Tellison with it.
Well, Nick, you made the call. They lined up and went after Blenman, but watch who helps out. He has safety help. Watch the hit Gaines, number 25, puts on Tellison. That ball was caught in his hands. He had Blenman beat, and Gaines came over and just knocked it out.
Kevin Gaines, a draft choice in '96 for this team. And a third down coming up for Amsterdam. Final minute of this first half. McCoy goes upstairs, working the other sideline, incomplete, looking for Robert Hall. Claudius Wright had the coverage, and that brings up fourth down for Amsterdam on what you have to say was a disappointing series offensively for them.
You know, now's no time to get complacent. I mean, they came out and they played the better part of the first half with a lot of emotion, and it showed. It showed on defense, it showed on offense. I mean, I think they need to keep this thing going and build from it, because they're going to need this all season long if they want to salvage their season.
Kevin Gaines is standing at his own 11-yard line, fielding the punt from Brian Greigert. Kenny McIntyre normally handles that responsibility. And the kick takes a hop and goes out at about the 21-yard line with 45 seconds left. Yeah, but McIntyre wasn't playing in the secondary in that series, and he wasn't returning punts either, which would suggest that he's taken a knock.
Yeah, Kenny
But this
McIntyre
game's
saw last
so
week.
important for both these teams, Bill. Both of them really need a win here. London coming off a defeat last week. Amsterdam just need to get started. The loser here is in trouble.
Well, you're right. The loser here is in trouble. They're going to fall down to the bottom, but Amsterdam started out so bad with no wins that they need something, and they're getting something. They're getting it. They have confidence. You can see it the way they're playing. London started out great and fell apart last week. The strength of the unit is their defense is what hurt them last week, and again, has put them in the hole.
Full wide receiver formation for the Monarchs. They go and find a man for about 8 yards. Mike Titley hanging on under tremendous pressure, but they can't stop the clock, which is down to 33 seconds and counting. 9 yards. Second down and 1. They stay with the 4 wide receivers. White looks Ronnie West all the way, who takes a huge hit. Just flattened by the safety man, Robert O'Neill, but it brings up a first down, but the Monarchs can't stop that clock.
Referee's calling timeouts.
Lionel Taylor on the field.
Timeout. London, that's their third and final team timeout. 30-second timeout.
That's your job. Yes, I can.
Please reset the clock to 18 seconds. Please reset the clock to 18 seconds.
Big hit by Robert O'Neill, a strong safety. And in the World League, during a timeout, your coach is allowed to go out on the field. As you see, both Al Luganville and Lionel Taylor were out there. I kind of like that, too. You know, instead of calling the whole team over to the sidelines to get around Jews, you know, these guys are tired at the end of the half or whatever, they may be on a drive. He can go right out to them. And not only talk to the quarterback, but talk to everybody.
So first down, 18 seconds left. First half, still 4 wide receivers in for London. Titley at tight end, and the pressure comes, and down goes White again, and the ball is loose, but they're saying he was down. Mike Evans was in on the play. Bronzell Miller was there. Evans is slow getting up. In fact, there's 2 Admirals shaken up on that play. Ridgely and Evans both getting to their feet slowly. This whole defensive front 4 for Amsterdam just pinning back their ears now, Bill.
Yeah, that's what you can do in this situation. I mean, you love it as a defensive lineman to have these situations, because it takes away one entire aspect of the game. That's playing the run.
That is the end of the first half.
A disappointing first half for the London Monarchs. An excellent one for the Amsterdam Admirals. They lead it 20-6. We'll be back in a few moments.
Nice pants.
Dockers, khakis.
Searching for an inside look at the American dream? Let FX take you to Minnesota, Baseball Minnesota, where you get a real-world view of the minor leagues. And every day is a fight to get to the majors. From the owners to the manager, the families and the fans, all eyes are on the men who have the courage to dream and the talent to win. Tune in to FX and get behind the scenes of the minor leagues, because there's more to the game of baseball than what you see on the field. Baseball Minnesota, Sunday at 7.
Searching for major movies? Turn on FX Major Movie Sunday, a major Hollywood movie every Sunday. This Sunday at 8, Anthony Edwards packs his pocket protector and goes head-to-head with John Goodman in the zany comedy Revenge of the Nerds.
Let's get those nerds!
Dressed for success, Anthony Edwards unites the socially challenged.
You're gonna love it.
John Goodman and Anthony Edwards star in Revenge of the Nerds. Turn it on this Sunday at 8 for FX Major Movie Sunday.
This Dockers Halftime Report is brought to you by Dockers Khakis, the go-to khakis from London to Amsterdam. Hey, nice pants. Eric Clemens back at our FX studios here in New York. Welcome to the Dockers Halftime Report. I am joined by Dave Jennings, former New York Jet, New York Giant punter, and current World League reporter as well. You're going to be doing some action over there for us at FX. Dave, first of all, thanks for being here and your impressions on the league so far here in 1997.
Well, it's a continuation of what's happened the last 4 or 5 years. They get players to come over and play, and it's a good opportunity for these guys. The thing I like about it, the fans really take to it over in Europe.
All right. Now, another thing, it has given players a chance to showcase their abilities, and one of them that has really shined in the NFL after coming from the World League is a punter like you, Darren Bennett.
Well, Darren Bennett's done a great job. You see quarterbacks, you see kickers, you see Don Silvestri, you see Louis Aguiar, and Darren Bennett, guys who get a chance to play in game-type conditions who wouldn't get the chance here at home.
Gets a Pro Bowl nomination his first year in the league, and this is what it's all about, isn't it?
And I'll tell you about Darren Bennett. He's a young punter. You know, he's only been doing this for a couple of years. When he knows what he's doing, watch out.
All right.
But he got the opportunity a few years ago.
Dave, stay right where you are. We'll get back to you in just a few moments. But first of all, let's take a look at the first half highlights. Amsterdam's offensive problems really solved here in the first half because of some big plays. Let's recap the first half for you. The crowd at Amsterdam Arena urging their team on to go get their first victory of the season. Mike McCoy starting at quarterback, hooking up with Dedrick Smith, 14-yard pass to the 9. Then Brent Moss of the Rams bulls his way in from 9 yards out in a touchdown, 7-0 Admirals. Later in the quarter, McCoy hitting the converted quarterback Robert Hall on the fly pattern, 48 yards to set up a touchdown 2 plays later by number 22, Ralph Dawkins, 5 yards. He is excited about the 14-0 lead, more points than Amsterdam has scored all year. Later, McCoy to A.C. Tellison of the Rams. On the post pattern, he rolls in, 49-yard strike. Amsterdam up 20-3, and Silvestri a couple of field goals. It's 20-6. Admirals at the half. Dave, first half, the keys, in your opinion, some of the big plays, especially on the part of Amsterdam.
Well, big plays is the key to this game in the first half. Al Luginbill, big special teams guy. He's gotten kickoff returns of 50 yards and 65 yards from Carpenter. You saw at the end of the half, they squibbed the kick. The middle linebacker returns it for about 30 yards. But again, opening kickoff here, it's going to be a 50-yard return. Al Luginbill, as I said, big special teams guy. Watch Silvestri here. Tried to trip him up, can't do it. You put the ball on a 40-yard line, 35-yard line, it's an offensive game now, not a defensive game. Now, again, another big play down the sideline. We just saw it a few seconds ago. Hall going up, pulling it down. Now you're down to the 15-yard line. You can have fun here, and another touchdown by Dawkins. Now, here's London getting back into it. A nice pass down to Davis. Now, they couldn't get the touchdown, but they got on the board. But big play has been a big part of this first half.
All right, Dave, more with you a little bit later. And right now, time to go to a break here. More on the Dockers Halftime Report. We'll look at some of the allocated quarterbacks burning up the league through 2 weeks of play. Amsterdam up by 14 at the half.
Does it seem like the weekend is the only time to take care of personal business? The problem is that when you're off, just about everyone else is too, but not at the money store. If you're thinking about refinancing or getting a home equity loan, call the money store this weekend and apply by phone. There's no application fee, and chances are you'll have an approval by Tuesday.
Palmer, there's still more bags in the car.
So if you want to refinance your home or get a home equity loan, call the money store this weekend at 1-800-LOAN-YES.
The later it gets, the better it gets.
3 words. Fabulous.
First,
I have a sexual appetite. Is that all right with you?
excuse me, weeknights at 11. Tom Skerritt stars in the critically acclaimed Picket Fences.
Vice, Miami.
Then, it's the show whose style and sound changed television forever.
I sort of like to keep it that way, if you catch my drift.
Miami Vice. Finally, it's a double dose of outrageous comedy.
2 snaps up.
In living color, primetime comes to late night starting at 11 on FX.
So you're building that deck with Time Life to help you along. So you might want to add some built-in benches. Page 50. How about a brick patio? Guaranteed weed-proof. And a lot easier on your checkbook than some contractor would be.
Now with Home Repair, you get 2 books for $2. Order decks, porches, and patios for just $1.99 and get kitchens free.
Those new countertops sure look good, and doing it yourself probably saved a bundle. So you could do that built-in recycling bin she wanted. Step by step, Time Life makes it easy.
With Home Repair, you get professional results at do-it-yourself prices. Use your credit card to order decks for just $1.99 and get kitchens free.
Home Repair makes you a real hero around the house. So why don't you give them a call? They'd probably love to hear from you.
Call 1-800-571-0707 to get 2 books for only $2. Use your credit card to order decks, porches, and patios, and you'll get kitchens free. Or send check or money order for $1.99 plus $3.95 shipping to the address on your screen.
Welcome back to the Dockers Halftime Report. And as you well know, the World League is the spring league of the NFL, and it's paying big dividends so far because many allocated signal callers are shining through 2 weeks of play.
For the first 2 weeks, Seattle's John Kitna has breathed fire for the Barcelona Dragons. Combining escapability with a gun of a right arm, Kitna has thrown 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. His 64% completion rate has vaulted him to the top of the World League passing charts and put the Dragons in the pole position to host World Bowl 97. NFL veteran T.J. Rubley has reignited his career with the Rhine Fire. Allocated by Denver, Rubley has placed arm troubles behind him to throw for almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks. Rubley's veteran leadership combined with ball placement and his ability to scramble have the Rhine offense blazing. Scotland's Dave Barr is allocated by the San Francisco 49ers. After a strong showing week 1 versus Amsterdam, Barr and the Claymores struggled last week. So far, Barr has played it safe in Scotland's West Coast offense. He's completed 61% of his passes with no INTs, but he has yet to throw a touchdown pass. Arizona's Chad May has been the victim of Frankfurt's offensive line problem. May has completed just 18 passes and has been sacked an amazing 12 times in the Galaxy's first 2 games. His 40.9% completion ratio is lowest among World League starters, and his 2 interceptions are tied for most in the league. The Giants' Stan White went to the World League to dust off the rust after 3 seasons of watching NFL games from the sidelines. Although London's attack is ranked 5th in the league and White's completion percentage is less than half, the former Auburn Tiger has led the Monarchs to their best start in 2 years.
The World League wanted to see improved play on offense, and the allocation system is a big reason why. Dave Jennings joining me back here at our FX studios. Talk about your views in 4 years of covering this league on the allocation system.
Well, I think it's worked out very well. As I said earlier, it gives guys a chance to play. Guys back here in the NFL, they're backups, and they never play. Scott Mitchell, he's sitting behind Marino. He's never going to play, goes to Orlando, big contract with Detroit. Brad Johnson plays with London, does a nice job with Minnesota. Now you're going to see Kitna here for Barcelona, gotten off to a great start with some of the other guys.
The allocation system also helps in the line. You know, those guys never get talked about too much, but if they have protection, they can showcase their skills as Brad Johnson did and parlay that into a big NFL contract with the Vikings.
Well, exactly, and it gives these guys a chance to play. Whether they're offensive linemen, quarterbacks, kickers, they can play. We're back here on the NFL, they're backups, and they never get a chance to play.
You played in the NFL for 14.
I punted.
You played. You played in the NFL for 14 seasons. Talk about the quality of play here, because some people who might be tuning in for the first time wonder what the level of play here is in this league, and I think it's right underneath the NFL because of the allocated play.
Well, it's a step below the NFL. If you look at all the rosters, just about everybody has experience in the National Football League. So it's just a step below. It's fun football, and they're having a ball over there.
All right, Dave Jennings, thank you very much for being with us. He'll be in Europe a little bit later on for some World League coverage of his own in a couple of weeks this season. Time now to set up the start of the second half. Right now, the Amsterdam Admirals continuing the woes of the London Monarchs, who've allowed 48 points in their last 4 quarters. Can they come back? We'll find out.
They lost pretty much everything.
We were thinking, are we next? I wanted security I could really feel.
Introducing Security Link from Ameritech. It gives people a feeling that's hard to find nowadays.
Complete peace of mind. 24 hours a day. Now everything's protected, whether I'm home or not.
If you've been thinking about a home security system, call now for our special offer.
It costs a lot less than we thought.
It's so easy to use.
Now you can get a home security system from the only advanced communications company in the business, Ameritech, a worldwide leader in making communications easy. Call now for our special free start program. Free installation plus 24-hour monitoring for less than $1 a day.
It's a company you can really rely on.
Security Link from Ameritech.
Word is you guys are writing a book.
Yeah, it's about the fine art of power hitting. We're calling it Babe Ruth Schmabe Ruth. It'll teach kids early on, because art takes years of fine-tuning. Just ask Picasso or Mozart.
Some say your power hitting started the same day you moved to the thin air of Colorado.
You know, Larry and I are getting a little tired of that.
This Monday, the New York Mets take on Cincinnati, or Colorado meets Houston, only on FX.
Back here in Amsterdam, the Admirals leading the Monarchs 20-6 as we get ready to get the second half underway, and real contrasting fortunes for the 2 quarterbacks. Mike McCoy for Amsterdam has pretty much had a lot of time to do what he needs to do. Stan White, in comparison, has been given a rough ride.
Well, the amazing thing is, look at McCoy. McCoy is only 4 of 11, and you would think he had big pass. That's it. And then White is actually having a better game, except there's no touchdown. White's thrown 50% of his passes. I mean, he's doing okay. McCoy really hasn't connected, but what he has done, he's got that long one, he's got a touchdown, and that's the difference.
Yeah, the 49-yarder to AC Tellison. And Bill, you know, you look at 20-6, it could have been so much better for Amsterdam. It could have been so much worse for London.
Well, London needs to make some changes this half. Two plays. As you can see, the rain's starting to come down here in Amsterdam. London needs to settle down and run their offense. They came out, you saw, they ran the ball well, they mixed up their personnel well, and Stan looked sharp. Then when they were just forcing Stan to drop back and pass, that's when they got in trouble. Yeah. And 2, Nick, they need to make a change in their protection because they're not getting the blitzing linebacker picked up.
With the rain coming down, you wonder if they'll think about closing this retractable roof. I've never seen it closed. I bet it doesn't really close, but that's a PR stunt. Ronnie West and Abram Smith, the deep men for the London Monarchs. How the visitors need an impressive offensive drive early here in this second half. Ross gets that second half underway, and it's fielded at the 10-yard line by West. And West slips on this turf and goes down at about the 21-yard line. And the contrast in returns between London and Amsterdam is very marked indeed. Amsterdam looked a threat every time. They worked excellent field position for their offense, and as a result, the offense was able to get on track for the Admirals, although not huge numbers difference, but look at that, 5 sacks for the Admirals.
That's it, and the return yards. Yeah. They say special teams can really make the difference, can really set the tone for a team, and it has for the Amsterdam Admirals.
Strangely enough, the Monarchs with more possession. Victor Mohammed in the backfield, and it's Victor that gets the carry and gets nothing. Cedric Figaro was there, Mike Evans was there. Victor Mohammed has waited a long time for this chance.
And I don't think that's the results he had in mind.
Well, he started out his World League career as Victor Abubadike, then was Victor X Abubadike, now Victor Mohammed, one of only 2 players that started out in the World League back in March 1991 and still playing. And the feeling is in practice that he can get the job done. Ross for 3 on first down. White with some time. Looks for Todrick Malone, and that's almost picked off and incomplete. Tommy Jones with the coverage.
Well, you see, they did make a change, and that's what I was talking about. They needed to make a change in their protection, and they did. Look what they have here. 2 tight ends staying in and blocking, and that's what they need to do. And the back also, Victor Muhammad. That's what they need, because they need to buy Stan some time. That was a nice job by Tommy Jones going up at the ball. And a defensive back, I mean, that's what it is. It's timing. It's not only coverage. When that ball's thrown, it's timing.
3rd and 13. White looks again. Has Malone this time. Very close to the first down marker. Jones again on the coverage. Support coming in from Robert O'Neill. But depending on where they spot, that could be a London first down. And I think they've got it.
Yeah, they must feel they can do something over that side, because it's the second time they went at it. And they got man-to-man coverage. And that's Malone and Tommy Jones again. And he takes him up and heads to the sidelines. And the timing of the ball was perfect from Stan White. Just as he was coming out of his break to the sidelines.
Again, they go to Malone. Again, Malone's got the ball and will pick up close to first down yardage, working Tommy Jones again. Masafumi Kawaguchi, the Japanese linebacker, in on the play as well. But Malone is certainly the go-to guy in this drive.
Well, he sure is, and they found something there, and I think that this is going to help them find a way to now get Amsterdam out of the blitz. They see they've got that blitz protected now. They're not getting the rush they had. Now London can enable them to do more things.
9 yards, 11 inches for Malone, brings up second and very short. And they give it to Victor Mohammed, who just has to fall forward to pick up the first down. He only just got it. Mike Evans in on the stop, but I think they'll move the chains on that one. The rain continues to fall here in Amsterdam.
So Mike Evans throwing his arms up in the air and letting them know that he's here to play. These two teams, they don't like each other, Nick. They have a bitter past.
There's been some stormy scenes on the sidelines in Amsterdam in the past. White rolls out as a man. Steve Brooks knocked out of bounds by Cedric Figueroa. Will pick up around 8 yards. Steve Brooks is an actor in his spare time when he's not with the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, and remember what I was talking about, Nick? It's taking them out of the blitz, and now they got the 2 tight end package in. Look at the big picture they got here. That's big people. They've got him in, and they're going to block, and then he's going to come out. That's 87 Brooks, and they get him out once they see that the backer Figueroa isn't coming, and it's out to the flat.
Second and short once again. They just go on the ground. A flag comes in. But the Monarchs have moved the ball into Amsterdam territory, and if that play stands up, it'll be a first down. They picked up 3 yards. And it's a face mask call against the Admirals. Now the Monarchs need a touchdown here.
Place man, defense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Lamar Mills, the backup defensive tackle, assessed.
Well, that's Lamar Mills. That's against Lamar Mills. And that was an inadvertent face mask. Lamar Mills, number 73, right there, is going to stick his left hand out and get a piece of Stan's face mask. And that's why it was inadvertent. That's why it was 5 yards instead of 15.
White goes upstairs again, looks for Malone and can't quite get in. They're trying to work that matchup with Tommy Jones again, but Jones had pretty good coverage there.
Todrick Malone, not the fastest of receivers. At training camp, on the last day of camp, he had packed his bags, and Lionel Taylor said, Nick, he's ready to go home. He said he knew he was going to be cut. He doesn't have great speed, but what he can do is he can run a route. And if you can run a route and you can catch the ball, there's a place for you on any team.
He came into this game as the Monarchs' leading receiver as well, with 7 catches, 3 more tonight. Second down, White over the middle. Brooks again, the target. Lillibridge on the stop. And a short yardage gain of about 4 yards there will bring up third down and about 6 for the Monarchs.
Well, I like what they did at halftime, the adjustments they made. It's a smart move by Lionel Taylor, finding a way to take them out of that rush that Amsterdam had in the first half. The 2 tight end package, now they're mixing things up, And you see now on this drive, Nick, they look a little bit more in control. They're not urgent.
Malone wide left, Davis wide right. White slips, stays on his feet, then gets hit from behind by Jeff Russell. And I think we can blame that play on the conditions. Getting very slippery underfoot there. White did well to keep his balance.
Well, watch, here comes the blitz over here, and the center has to come out to pick it up. That's tough duty for Mark Lamb, the center. When he has to check first to see if the middle linebacker's coming, then come all the way out and try to match up with a quick DB. That's a good job of him just being able to get out there.
And the rain getting pretty heavy now. Greg Ivey kicks to Jeff Russell, who stands at his own 10-yard line. And lets that one go, and it takes a nice London bounce straight into the hands of Claudius Wright at about the 3-yard line, from where the Admirals will resume when we return.
This is the sound of small businesses doing more business with Fridays free. They're doing more because thanks to Sprint, all their long distance on Fridays is free, while the rest of the week they're still getting Sprint's low flat rates. Even better, call now and get Fridays free until the year 2000 with no term commitment. Call 1-800-598-5000 for Fridays free, only from Sprint Business.
Okay, how did Priority Mail win over the Emmy? Well, we delivered over 75,000 videotapes of the TV shows entered for Emmys to the voting Academy members. On a tight timetable, on a tight budget. And the winner is Priority Mail. So we came here for the Emmys. How about you? What's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
I thought it was the flu. It wasn't.
It burned when I urinated. I thought it was a one-time thing. It wasn't.
I had pain or discharge in a sore. I thought it was another yeast infection. It wasn't.
These are symptoms of genital herpes, a condition that 1 out of every 6 Americans has. Call 1-800-419-4343 for information. While there's no cure, doctors have treatment options. Herpes thrives on ignorance. See your doctor.
Lucky for these fans that the rain came after the pre-game power party. These kids having some fun at the experience and painting their faces. Bill Mars considered painting his face, but couldn't get anyone to do it. In fact, you turned down a lot of this stuff, Bill. You wouldn't play that stuff. I'll have to get you on there sometime. 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for the Admirals, and you can make that 2nd down and 10 after the carry from Brent Moss.
One thing I noticed, Nick, is London has changed their 2 cornerbacks. Roel Fleming is out there for Mario Bradley, and over here left corner is Claudius Wright for Kenny McIntyre.
Bradley standing on the sidelines. McIntyre.
I do not even see
He's there,
McIntyre.
yeah. He's on the sidelines. Yeah, he's on the sidelines. Just spotted him. 2nd down and long. Herman Smith with the stop, and big trouble there for Brent Moss. Where are they going to spot that?
That could be about the 1-yard line.
Very close. Herman Smith frightened the life out of Brent Moss there.
Watch 78 Herman Smith just jump inside here and stuff that whole thing up. He takes on the lead block and is darn close to a safety, but it's where the ball is. The ball was in the field of play and not on the line, the end zone line.
And it's been spotted at the 1-yard line. 3rd down and 12. This a big play for Amsterdam. And they go on the ground again, and not much doing there. That was an awful series for them.
That's what London needed. I mean, they had a nice little drive going on their opening possession. Then their punter got it down there. Claudius Wright did a nice job of downing it, putting the long field ahead of them. And now they're shut down, and they're going to get the ball in good field territory right now.
Backup cornerbacks on both corners. They got a 3 running plays, Bill.
Just can't figure it sometimes, Nick.
We should be coaches, you know that? It's easy.
You got a mouse in your pocket.
Timeout. London, first team timeout.
The Monarchs take a timeout. 8:16 left in the third quarter. We'll return in a couple of moments.
Life is
The race against yourself.
setting goals. Focus. The face plan. Reaching goals. 2,837 free throws. Putting back what you lose. Being the underdog.
Life is
Beginning.
being me.
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 Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Well, Visa Gold bought you the clubs and the clothes and 3 rounds at breathtaking Pebble Beach. The one thing it couldn't buy you was a single decent shot.
I quit. Finish without me.
I can't. Those were my clubs. Fortunately, it had enough purchasing power for your next set of clubs. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Boom, 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 boom. Ain't nothing cooler than the blues. It's living the blues. Complete. Definitive. It's the kind of collection only Time Life could put together.
It could be a spoonful of coffee. Could be a spoonful of tea.
Start with Blues Legends and get 20 absolutely essential blues classics for just $9.99 on cassette or compact disc.
Further on up the road, someone's gonna hurt you like you hurt me.
Then audition other albums. Keep only the ones you want. Satisfaction guaranteed. The blues are hotter than ever. So calm down.
To order Living Blues, call 1-800-443-6900 or send $9.99 for 1 cassette or 1 CD, plus $3.50 shipping to Living the Blues, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia.
Downtown Amsterdam, a busy place as ever. This is the theatre district of this charming city. And meanwhile, in the arena, the Amsterdam Admirals, who dominated the first half, not having things all their own way in this second half, and punting from the back of his own end zone is Brian Gregot, and they came after him. Gregot got it off. It takes a wobble, and Kenny McIntyre lets it go, and it's going to be down at about the 49-yard line. Gregot did well to get that one off. Allocated here from the Carolina Panthers, and not the first punter to be allocated to the Admirals from the NFL. 2 years ago, Darren Bennett was allocated here from the San Diego Chargers and really has made a career for himself. A huge find for San Diego. Went to the Pro Bowl in his first year, and a former Aussie Rules player as well. A very tough guy, played 12 years in Aussie Rules, and if you think those guys are wins, Bill, you've never seen them play.
Explain Aussie Rules.
Aussie Rules, they play in string vests and shorts, and they make bigger hits than you guys ever made, I tell you. They are tough guys.
I've got it now. Thanks for that description.
What else do you need? First down, Victor Mohammed. It's Avram Smith, in fact, breaking tackles, staying on his feet to the 30, down to the 20, to the 18-yard line. Ron Carpenter eventually on the stop. And that was all Avram Smith.
Nice job right here. Watch the guys up front just push everybody out of the way. And then, as he goes down, as Avram Smith goes down to the ground, he gets back up. He puts his hand down. He keeps his feet churning through the hole. And a lot of backs would have been tackled right there at the line of scrimmage upon contact. Avram Smith put it into second gear and had a nice pickup out of it.
Hobbs and Smith in the backfield. Smith gets the ball once again, has a lot of running room again, turning the corner and getting down to the 5. Tommy Jones eventually pushing him out of bounds. 2 very impressive runs from Smith.
Well, you notice what they're doing now. We're getting 2 back sets here. Watch, you have 2 backs. Here's the fullback lead on this. And Hobbs just enough to take Trevor Wilmot out of the play. But see what Hobbs did there? He went down at his legs. On the lead back, the fullback, on the lead play, you have got to put your helmet into the man and keep your feet turning. And he was lucky there. He got enough body on him to get Wilmot out of the play. But it's going to catch up to him if he keeps that up.
First and goal at the 5. White drops the ball. It's still loose. And Amsterdam think they've got it, and they have. Disaster for the London Monarchs. Robert O'Neill with the recovery. Wright never knew where it was.
I don't believe he ever got the snap. It came up quick, and then he just never has a grasp of it. It was never in his hands.
How sickening is that for the London Monarchs? They backed up the Admirals, they forced them to punt, they get the running game going, and they lose the ball. Mario Bradley back at right corner. Nothing doing there. Jeff Hunter with a huge hit. The defensive front have changed up the game for the Monarchs as well.
Well, they need that, get that intensity back. They had the ball, they're knocking on the door. Jeff Hunter has been around, and he's a serious guy. We talked to him yesterday. You see him shoot the gap there right underneath Jerry Kraft. He just comes underneath with a rip in his shoulder and steps inside. And he's a serious guy. Look at his eyes. I mean, that's serious. We talked to him yesterday, and he's all business. He's all football.
Second down, they stay on the ground. Moss getting a couple more yards on this occasion. Will pick up about 4 before he stopped. George Harris coming up from safety and making the stop, but that's going to bring up a tricky third down at about 7 for the Admirals, and the Monarchs need to stop them here.
Yeah, it's a big third down for the Monarchs. Yeah, and for the Monarchs, it's been like that, Nick. You see them do things good, and then somehow they end up shooting themselves in the foot, penalties, mistakes,
fumbles.
Yeah, and they'll get you. I mean, they've had opportunities here.
Smith and Rashal are wide left. Hall wide right for the Admirals. Again, it's on the ground, and not much doing again for Brent Moss, and they've gone completely away from the passing game. It was 3 running plays and nothing doing last series. 3 more for Moss, nothing doing again for Amsterdam.
The Hunter again was in the mix on that. They have a little stunt on, a little tackle and stunt. He just steps down inside. It's like an X, you know, a little crossing pattern, really, like the receivers run. Well, that's what they do with defensive linemen, to try to get the offensive linemen to bump each other off. Hunter did a nice job of setting it up, selling it, and coming down underneath.
Once again, Braga punts from his own end zone. McIntyre at his own 45-yard line, a low snap, and they came after it. Didn't quite get it. Claudius Wright was looking for it. McIntyre steps up, gets it at the 42, and is stopped at about the 37-yard line of the Amsterdam Admirals. Once again, the Monarchs will have excellent field position, but they trail the Amsterdam Admirals 20-6.
Whenever there's a say hello, whenever there's a touch and shake will follow, whenever there's a laughing at you, whenever there's it's a groove that we do. With the P.O.P.K. for the papa at the top, it's a long way to speed, it's the best that won't stop. Always Coca-Cola.
Pantalon.
Hey, she says nice pants. There's a
Dockers, khakis.
It's the
largest set ever built. The largest set ever destroyed.
Somebody tell me what the hell is going on?
There are going to be a million dead people if we don't evacuate.
Sunday on FX.
Put as many people in front of it as it takes.
Tommy Lee Jones and Anne Heche take you behind the scenes
This is no good. Get out of here.
as one of Hollywood's hottest motion pictures explodes. It's the making of Volcano. Sunday at 6 on FX.
Well, who'd be a head coach? Lionel Taylor has seen his Monarchs own this third quarter, but they still haven't closed that gap.
They've had some opportunities, though. Twice they've been down and they've sustained good drives. They just haven't been able to capitalize on it. And they need to do that. When they get a ball down there, they need to get some kind of points, preferably touchdowns.
Cedric Malone wide left. Davis wide right. The two-back set in once again for London. And White looks in the direction of Malone again, and I don't think he got the second foot down. He didn't. Tommy Jones on the coverage, but they like that matchup clearly, the Monarchs.
Well, they're getting something together over there. That's Malone and White. They're picking on Tommy Jones. This ball is just thrown a little behind and a little high. Because Malone was actually past Tommy Jones. If Stan would have thrown the ball upfield, they would have had a shot to go the distance.
2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. They show blitz. Flags come in. Smith is stopped by Masafumi Kawaguchi, who came from a great play. I like that guy. That Japanese linebacker, Masa Kawaguchi, they call him the machine. He's in on everything.
He'll hit you. Every guy on the team says he'll hit you.
Start of the snap. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's another national, Tony McKenzie. But, yeah, this guy, he goes full contact for the whole time, including practice against his own guys.
You know, and I think, you know, that rubs off on the players. You know, here's a guy that learned football for who knows what age. It wasn't at a young age where most of the other guys have. Now he's here playing pro football. You have to respect somebody like that.
They fake Avram Smith play action, and then they go to Todrick Malone, who hadn't run the route that, White had expected, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 15.
You know, London, almost every one of their, I know every one of their offensive linemen, except Lamb, I believe the center, has been called for something. And if they haven't been called for something, most of them have been beat on pass rush. If Stan White could just buy a little bit more time, he has receivers open.
Davis wide right, Malone wide left, 3rd and 15. Blitz comes, White rolls, is in trouble, gets rid of it, finds Malone, 1st down London. Tommy Jones on the stop. Gutsy play from the quarterback.
Now, that was all Stan White. And Stan's getting the feeling now, hey, he sees it coming. He knows there's nothing he can do. He's got to take it into his own hands. And sometimes as a quarterback, you have to do that. He does a nice job of running left and throwing with the right arm.
Malone did a good job of hanging on to that thing. That took a bobble. How big will that 3rd down conversion be? Kawaguchi checking out of the lineup. Lionel Taylor watching anxiously as the Monarchs try to close the gap. All kinds of movement there on the right side of London's line. Titley and Lindbergh went for a walk.
Yeah, and Stan's hot. Stan's hot. Every time they seem to get something going.
False start. Prior to the snap. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty.
And there's Mark Lamb, the only guy we haven't called.
Well, here's Lamb. He's the center. And he snaps and goes. Actually, it was Terrence Wisdom, 68. So Lamb's still okay. Misidentification by the official. That was Terrence Wisdom, 68. Lamb still doesn't have a penalty.
Yeah.
He's doing all right.
White goes again from Malone, and Tommy Jones had a shot at an interception there and knows it.
The White got leveled. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If he just has a little bit more time, he's able to throw the ball precisely. And he hasn't been able to throw the ball precisely to the open receivers because he's taking shots like this. That's, about 900 pounds of asphalt coming down on you. That can't feel too good.
It'll concentrate the mind, and those numbers keep on clocking up and up for Stan White. They pitch it back to Ed Hobbs, who's been quiet and slips and falls and will lose 2 yards. Cedric Figaro in on the play. Hobbs has fizzled a little bit after a promising start.
Well, they haven't been able to get into the groove and continue to run because they're down. Now, that time, Hobbs just read the block wrong. I mean, he had a hold of the inside, and he tried to bounce it outside. And when you're 240 pounds, you don't try to bounce anything outside. Your strength has got to be up the middle.
This defensive front of the Admirals is tough to run against. Ridgely, now, time for stand wide on that occasion, but it took a hop and it's incomplete. They were looking for Terrence Davis. It would have been short of first down yardage.
That's on Stan. He knows it. He's upset with himself. Ball was underthrown. Finally had some time, and the only time that he had time, he really didn't have a receiver open.
Now a chance for 4 points here for the London Monarchs with a 53-yard field goal, which will tie the World League record, and it'll be good for 4 points if Don Silvestri, the New York Jet, can make it. Snap and hold are good. Silvestri has the leg. Wide. No, it's wide. It was close, but not good enough for Don Silvestri. And so once again, with 1:11 left in this third quarter, the Monarchs have a promising drive that ends with nothing. Well, next week, it doesn't get any easier for either of these two teams. As we head into week 4, Amsterdam will host the Rhine Fire, who could be the surprise packet of the league this season. Frankfurt against the Scottish Claymores will be a tough one. And London host the Barcelona Dragons, who after 2 games are the league's only unbeaten team. And remember, for all of you watching in the United States and for Bill Marsh, we list the home team first here in Europe. Ralph Dawkins is alone in the backfield. Dedrick Smith in the slot. McCoy goes down, he slips. Very difficult conditions there, and that's the easiest sack that Big Ben will ever come up with, Ben Williams. The #1 draft choice of the London Monarchs. McCoy just losing his footing. And on 2nd and 15, it looks like Amsterdam really are going to be forced into a passing situation, which is something they've tried to avoid in this second half.
You know, the whole third quarter has been London. And it's too bad they don't have any points to show for it, because Amsterdam hasn't moved the ball well at all on offense since they came out for the second half.
McCoy does drop to pass and looks and has Masato Itai, the Japanese player who has safe hands. Ed Berman eventually on the stop. But McCoy was given a lot of time there, and Itai will pick up about 3 yards. He's got good hands, this guy.
Yeah, he does. And actually, he's a heck of a receiver. I mean, Al feels real comfortable with him. McCoy feels real comfortable with him. They don't mind when he's in. He's a feisty guy, too. You know, I saw him out there. He was out there before. The first time he had a catch, but he went out there and he's in the mix of blocking. He gets after people.
And he's wide left at the moment. Robert Hall wide right. Dedrick Smith in the slot on 3rd down and 12 for the Admirals, trying to get something going offensively. They've been very quiet this half. The pressure comes. They get it away. They look for Dedrick Smith, who made a great effort but couldn't quite hang on, and it's incomplete. And it's 3 and out again for Amsterdam. George Harris had the coverage, but Smith couldn't quite hang on.
Well, it was a great effort here on the part of Dedrick Smith. He lays out just on his fingertips, and as he pulls it in, it hits his face mask, hits his helmet. As his hands pull the ball in.
Now that is the end of the third quarter. It's been dominated by the Monarchs, but they have nothing to show for it. It remains Amsterdam 20, London 6.
Мы снова будем счастливы. Будем жить долго, долго. Нам повезет жизнь снова.
Searching for action, excitement, and laughs? Turn on FX Prime Time, starting at 8.
Get yourself a team.
Catch the explosive thrills of the A-Team. Then at 9, Don Johnson turns up the heat with the look and excitement that is Miami Vice. And at 10, Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans push the envelope of good taste.
Pilot to co-pilot, we're going down in flames.
On In Living Color, FX Primetime, tonight starting at 8. 3 shows, 1 place, FX.
Are you tired of struggling with can openers? There's always a sharp metal edge. Ouch! Now there's Perfect Can. It opens the safe, easy way without sharp metal edges. Other openers cut a metal edge that's sharp as a razor. Perfect Can cuts so smoothly, it won't even pull these stockings. The secret is the side-winding action. It cuts along the side of the can under the thick safety lip. Tired of messy tinfoil covers? Perfect Can's lids fit safely on top of the can. Ordinary openers get stuck. What a mess! Perfect Can cuts a perfect circle in seconds. The handle turns quickly and easily, then just discard the lid. Perfect Can is dishwasher safe. Now order Perfect Can for only $14.95. Order now, and as a bonus, get the deluxe bottle and jar opener. Pops open the tightest seals, the world's best can opener, and the best bottle opener, all only $14.95.
To order Perfect Can, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-368-3600. Or send check or money order for $14.95 plus $3.95 shipping to Perfect Can, 507 Maple Leaf Drive, Nashville, Tennessee. But for quicker service, call 1-800-368-3600.
1 quarter of play left for the London Monarchs to try and capitalize on this dominance that they've enjoyed in the third quarter. It remains Amsterdam leading 20-6. They really ran the show in the first half, but they've done nothing offensively in the second. But until London converts some of these scoring chances, and they go for the fake, and they drop the ball, and Brent Moss still manages to pick it up and got a lot of running room, and it's a huge first down on a special teams play for the Admirals, and that is Al Luganbill's trademark.
That's their biggest offensive play of the second half.
And even with a botched snap, it came off huge for them, and Luganbill goes into the bag of tricks again.
Watch what happens here. The cover guys take off and get back into coverage, and they never see the ball go off. See them bail out? They're already bailing back into coverage, and there's the big hole, and they never see the punt.
Roel Bleeman eventually pushing him out of bounds, but he got to the 25, and now Amsterdam have the bit between their teeth. Ralph Dawkins gets wrapped up by Big Ben Williams, brings him down with some help, and just a couple there for Dawkins. That'll bring up second down and about 9. The Amsterdam offense continues to struggle in this second half. They've got 12 men on the field, the Monarchs. Ed Berman hustling off just in time. Second down and long. McCoy has protection again. Goes, looks for Dedrick Smith. George Harris there to break it up. Nothing Smith could do about that. Good play from the safety man. And a flag comes in late. The flag dropped very late.
I think that the talking might have got carried a little bit away this time. That was a nice play by George Harris breaking up that play.
London can ill afford a penalty here. Well, the Monarchs already rocked on their heels by that fake punt. And they don't need a penalty here. Here's Walt Coleman.
We have no national
for Amsterdam.
on the offense.
And it goes against
5-yard
Amsterdam.
penalty, still second down.
Yeah,
Which will frustrate Al Luganbill, but it was Luganbill who sent in the call, and this is his speciality. Trick plays on special teams.
Well, watch. Roel Bleeman just takes off out of the middle. It was a missed bobble on the snap by Moss, but he picks it up and takes off up the middle. Roel Bleeman is all the way downfield. He just now recognizes, as he gets in on the tackle, that it's a fake. He was up there. He was the linebacker in that position on the punt return. That's why it's so important, and you have to watch. You have to get up there, and I know you want him to get back in cover and block to set up a return, but you have to make sure the punt is off.
Something I've noticed about you, Bill, when we talk about Brent Moss, you make Moss sound like Mars. I mean, is this a kind of deliberate thing here? You're trying to make it out that you're down on the field there? Moss on the play. I'm hearing this stuff.
I'm Moss. That's Moss.
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 Okay.
Moss. Moss. Stick with me, Chap. Chop.
Third down. And timeout called by Mike McCoy. Big play there for Amsterdam. 13:19 left in the ball game. Timeout on the field. Timeout up here too. We'll be back.
The legendary chalice of Malta has never come cheap. In 1238, it was captured by 10,000 Celts. In 1512, it took an entire armada. And in 1703, it took an arranged marriage to the daughter of Charles V, the older one. But luckily, if you want the golden chalice of Malta, all you need is a golden card of Visa, with extraordinary purchase power for extraordinary things. It's even mightier than the sword. Visa Gold fits everywhere you want to be.
Searching for an inside look at the American dream? Let FX take you to Minnesota, baseball Minnesota, where you get a real-world view of the minor leagues. And every day is a fight to get to the majors. From the owners to the manager, the families and the fans, all eyes are on the men who have the courage to dream and the talent to win. Tune in to FX and get behind the scenes of the minor leagues, because there's more to the game of baseball than what you see on the field. Baseball Minnesota, Sunday at 7.
Searching for major movies? Turn on FX Major Movie Sunday, a major Hollywood movie every Sunday. This Sunday at 8, Anthony Edwards packs his pocket protector and goes head-to-head with John Goodman in the zany comedy Revenge of the Nerds.
Let's get those nerds!
Dressed for success, Anthony Edwards unites the socially challenged. You're gonna love it. John Goodman and Anthony Edwards star in Revenge of the Nerds. Turn it on this Sunday at 8 for FX Major Movie Sunday.
Back here in Amsterdam, the Admirals trying to build on this 20-6 lead. They have a third down and 9 coming up. Lots of time left in the fourth quarter. They're at London's 24-yard line. Mike McCoy under center for the Admirals. McCoy gets pressure, manages to get rid of it, but it's incomplete. A flag comes in. 2 flags in the London defensive secondary.
Boy, and that's really bad, because Herman Smith came inside, and McCoy was actually throwing the ball away.
Definitely seems to be a bit of contact between Roel Fleming and AC Tellison there. The call is against London.
That's a tough break against London. I believe you're right, Nick. It is going to be on Roel Fleming, number 21. And actually, you know, he wasn't...
Interference. Defense. Number 27. First down.
Claudius Wright getting assessed, but there was definitely contact with Fleming and Tellison as well.
Well, the thing about it is, either one of those two guys, it didn't matter, because they weren't even around the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they were nowhere near the ball. I mean, McCoy was actually just trying to throw that thing away.
Number 61 is eligible. Number 61 is
Uncatchable
eligible.
ball as well. Jeroen Egger, the Dutchman, checks in.
Yeah.
Eligible. This may be his first snap in the World League.
Well, now, when they go big, hurt people down the short yards and goal line, they bring him in as the third tackle.
First and goal. Close, very close. Touchdown, Amsterdam. They're in. And that may just wrap it up. Dawkins celebrates. And it's a mountain for the London Monarchs now, and that pass interference penalty really huge. Silvio Di Liberto with the extra point attempt. He made his first 2, missed the third one. Former soccer player. This one slides through, and it's 27-6 in favor of the Amsterdam Admirals. 12:45 left.
Well, what that pass interference did, Nick, was just change this around from a 2-touchdown game with time remaining that is very feasible into a 3-touchdown game. You see the charge up front, and then the extra effort Dawkins by sticking the ball across the goal line. And that's all it has to do. That ball has to break the plane of the goal line to be a touchdown. His knee is not down, and the ball breaks the plane, and that's it. That's a touchdown. That's a great call.
Well, Dawkins gets his name on the score sheet. This Dawkins-Moss combination of the backfield, you sense with a good offensive line getting in sync, this could do a lot of damage for the Admirals.
Well, they looked good early. In the second half, their offense still has sputtered. I mean, the 1-yard punt was great, but their only offense in the second half, Nick, was the fake punt.
That's true. Still some stuff for Al Luganville to iron out, and there's plenty for Lionel Taylor to iron out. His team in trouble. Smith and West, the return men. Returns have been a disappointment for the Monarchs. West fields at the 15. Works behind the block and then runs into trouble and just gets it to about the 31-yard line. That's where Stan White is going to take over with time starting to run out now. Just 12.5 minutes left. Not impossible by a long shot.
Well, 3 touchdowns needed.
But they've got to get on with it.
And Mike Evans was out there loading his shotgun. He was putting shells in the gun because he knows that he's going to get after the quarterback now. He's just going to stand outside here at the left-hand position and rush.
What you've got to be concerned about if you're on the Monarchs coaching staff is you've had scoring opportunities and all you've got is 2 field goals. White on first down, finds Stallworth, picked off, Carpenter with the pick. Lundberg tries to get him and misses him. White can't get him either. Carpenter still on his feet, ball's loose. And it's still loose, and Amsterdam have recovered it. Touchdown in the end zone. Would you believe that? It looked like Jay Phillips may have come up with it.
Jay Phillips came up with the ball.
On his return. And when it's going your way, everything goes your way. And they're doing the A-train, and there'll be a penalty on that. That will be called excessive taunting, and a flag should go down. That's a World League rule. But no flag so far. Well, there should have been. Started badly for the Monarchs. They rallied, and it's ending disastrously. But this, the shot in the arm, this whole Amsterdam Admirals franchise needed. They were on their feet in this stadium. And Al Luganville has regrouped. There's been all sorts of personnel changes with this franchise this week. And the changes have brought a change in fortune as well.
Matt Brown moving early. The guy that made that whole play possible was Mark Lillibridge, number 52.
False start, prior to the snap, offense number 62, 5-yard penalty.
Matt Brown indeed it was.
Yeah, that's Matt Brown. He just jumped a little early there, but I'm talking about the interception. It was 52, Lillibridge, the linebacker. He got a hand on the ball, tipped it up.
And these fans, they're celebrating like soccer fans, flag waving, chanting, they're loving it here at the arena. Gilberto with a longer extra point attempt. And everything going right for the Amsterdam Admirals right now.
Here's Lillibridge. Watch him come over here. Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Lillibridge. It was Figueroa, Cedric Figueroa. He tipped the ball up. Carpenter gets a piece of it up in the air.
Well, that thing could have gone anywhere, Bill, and it's when your luck's with you.
Yeah, here's Figueroa, the linebacker. Watch him come out on the tight end. And just get the hand on the ball. It pops up there, and Carpenter is just good awareness of where the ball is. He tries to get a little fancy down there, and Larry Stallworth, 19%, knocks that thing out.
And the thing that gets me, Bill, is that the league has issued a ruling that taunting will draw a penalty.
Well,
now, if this is taunting, what is it?
Carpenter, seeing the second one in there, he's the one that started the A train.
That's right. And that's what started a riot here 2 years ago, but no flag. Harris is deep with West. West fields at his 10-yard line. And there's been nothing doing for Ronnie West on returns tonight. Looked like Kawaguchi, the Japanese linebacker, right in the thick of that stop. And West gets to the 30-yard line. And no further. And I think Preston Jones is going to be entrusted with the task of mission impossible. A change at quarterback for the Monarchs. In comes Jones, who came on and threw a touchdown in relief of Stan White last week. Posted some pretty good numbers. The interception came very late when Jones was forcing it. But when you're 34-6 down with 12 minutes remaining, you need Superman back there.
Yeah, he moved the team last week. He did do that. And I really believe that this time around, that Stan White isn't pulled here for deficient. I mean, it's not that he had a bad game. It's just that the things around him have gone bad.
So what can Jones do? Completes a pass, very first attempt. Will pick up 6 yards to Ronnie West before he's stopped by Trevor Wilmot. Preston Jones, formerly with the Philadelphia Eagles. He was their third stringer back in '93. From Atlanta.
Yeah. And see, they get a completion, Nick, and then they jump off sides again. That was getting.
False start. Prior to the snap, offense number 82, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, they got Titley on this side, and they had on this side, and then they had Dittman 74 on the other side. They both jumped early.
Well, you hit the nail on the head early. Consistency, or the lack of it, Bill, has been the problem for this team. And Preston Jones was the quarterback for this team last year, and so he'll know all about the inconsistencies that they faced. Had a good training camp, but couldn't quite beat out the man from the New York Giants. Jones with the swing pass to Abram Smith, who's got a lot of work to do, gets past Wilmot. And will be short of first down yardage by about 3 yards. That brings up a 3rd down and 3. .11:20, they're doing the wave here. These fans have really got into this in this second half. 3rd down. The Monarchs need this. Jones looks for Toderick Malone, who can't quite get it. They had Tommy Jones beaten again. They went for it all. And Greg Ivey and the punting unit are back out for the London Monarchs. And Preston Jones will return to the sidelines. One thing to be with the Philadelphia Eagles, he needs a bit of kryptonite in his pocket.
They've tried that play about 5 times, Nick. The matchup with Malone and Tommy Jones, and just every time they scored the ball, it's been out of bounds.
Jeff Russell waits at his own 25-yard line. The jeering and the whistling going on. Flags come in. And it's been a yellow flag strewn game.
Prior to the snap, offense number 87, 5-yard penalty.
Steve Brooks, the tight end, getting assessed. We called a lot of London names for flags this evening. Add another one to the list.
Well, to say that Amsterdam needed this, Nick, is an understatement.
The other side of that particular coin, Bill, this is exactly what London didn't need. Badly beaten last week. And this looks like another bad defeat for them. Ivey gets it off. Russell calls for the fair catch at about the 36-yard line, and with 10:35 remaining, the Amsterdam Admirals will try and pad this 34-6 lead when we return.
Karch Karai is a big fat bully.
I didn't know that anybody could do that to a ball. Norlight is sponsoring the AZT Tour. They support the youth of volleyball. Our organization... And actually retrieve battered and abused volleyballs.
Miller Lite sent us beer, but it'll take more than that. Run, little ball. Go free.
It all started with this dime tip. Suddenly, I was the boss. So I gave myself a day off and went shopping. It was so great. Everything I tried on fit like it was cut just for me. Later at the salon, Candace Bergen shows up with my phone bill.
This will make your day.
Every call is just a dime a minute when I'm home, evenings and weekends. On the way out, I pass the dime on. Who wouldn't want a great rate like that?
Call now for 200 minutes free.
I'll buy 10 of these. You're the outstanding. Deion Sanders. Sam, you're the greatest, man. Mind if I get a picture? Thanks, bro. You mind if I write a check? Sure, Deion. I'm just gonna need to see some ID.
Say what?
Yes, a driver's license, a library card.
Checks. What a pain.
Fishing license, employee ID.
But now there's a better way. The Visa Check Card. It's an ATM card with a Visa logo that deducts from your checking account automatically everywhere Visa's accepted.
I'm gonna have to call to see if you can cover this.
The Visa Check Card works just like a check, only better.
Back here in Amsterdam, Nick Halling with Bill Marsh. It's turning into a rout, Bill, when the Monarchs really had an opportunity to turn it around, but a couple of special teams plays, one in particular, and then a turnover has really killed them.
Yeah, they've been hurting themselves, Nick, for 2 weeks. Now, London has a good team, but for the last 2 weeks, they've been taken out of their game plan, and they've shot themselves in the foot with penalties and turnovers.
And Mike McCoy has done a quietly efficient job at quarterback for the Admirals. His numbers won't be terrific. Flags come in once again. Brent Moss gets the carry. What elements have it, didn't know. But I love this guy's voice.
Prior to the snap, offense, number 81, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Rosario Rachal from the San Diego Chargers assessed.
He loves your voice too, Nick.
There's a man of taste as well.
He told me that.
I love the word snayer. Oh, I can't get it. What accent is that? Where's he from? Is that a sort of, is that a Kansas City accent?
No, that's not Kansas City. I think it's Southeast.
First down on 15 on the draw play to Moss once again, who will pick up the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty, bring up a second down and 10. Ryan McCoy in on the stop, number 55 for the Monarchs.
You know, all the struggles that they've had, the Amsterdam Admirals, has been up front, but the left side of the line with big Jerry Kraft, 66, Ron Lewis, they played together last year, and they played together well. And that was on a draw play, and they just invited him upfield. Now look at the size, though. 334 pounds, and he's down. He was 380 last year. See the 152 kilograms? See, if I was him, I'd go around saying I was 152 kilograms. It sounds a lot lighter.
Nobody would know what he was talking about. Again, Moss, the ball carrier. Ben Williams on the tackle after pickup of 4 will bring up a 3rd down and 6. How many kilograms are you, Bill?
Well, according to you today, you said I was more than that. Well, here's Kraft, 78. Watch him. He gets the push down on Hunter, and then watch him pick up Emil Palmer. He picks him up on the stunt there. It's a nice job by Kraft. And Kraft knows, he was in with the Buffalo Bills, he was on their Super Bowl teams there, and he knows this is his last go-around. He said, this is it. He says, I lost 40 pounds, I came here to camp, I'm going to put a tape together, and I want to show the NFL, and if it's not good enough, then I'm going to go on with my life.
And he's one of the reasons why the Admirals have got their rushing game going together today. Not on this occasion, though, for Brent Moss, who can't get past Rick Newbill. Down and long.
You know, the thing about it is, Nick, when you're 340-some pounds, you know, and he's down, hey, sometimes you're going to get tired. And right here, he tries to get a piece of Hunter, but I mean, maybe that weight, especially all that weight in the midsection, that gravity just pulled him right down to the ground. big Jerry Kraft. You know, he says he's going to maybe go to law school or maybe pro wrestling. I'm sitting there thinking, now that's a wide diversity.
Oh, that's law enforcement, one way or the other.
He's practiced law or, you know, come off the top rope. He wasn't sure yet.
Good punt from Prager. Kenny McIntyre wants nothing to do with that, and it's down at the 25-yard line. 8 minutes remaining. Amsterdam leading 34-6. London facing a mountain.
Life is
The race against yourself.
setting goals. Focus. The face plan. Reaching goals. 2,837 free throws. Putting back what you lose. Being the underdog.
Life is
Beginning.
being me.
Life is a sport. Drink it up. This is the sound of small businesses doing more business with Fridays free. They're doing more because thanks to Sprint, all their long distance on Fridays is free. While the rest of the week, they're still getting Sprint's low flat rates. Even better, call now and get Fridays free until the year 2000 with no term commitment. Call 1-800-598-5000 for Fridays free. Only from Sprint Business.
I wasn't looking for love. With just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my way.
It's the largest set ever built. The largest set ever destroyed.
Somebody tell me what the hell is going on?
There are going to be a million dead people if we don't evacuate.
Sunday on FX.
Put as many people in front of it as it takes.
Tommy Lee Jones and Ann Hayes take you behind the scenes
This is no good. Get out of here.
as one of Hollywood's hottest motion pictures explodes. It's the making of Volcano. Sunday at 6 on FX.
Eric Clemens back in New York. Still plenty of football to come here on FX. Game 2 of our doubleheader. The unbeaten Barcelona Dragons against Frankfurt at the top of the hour. Now Nick and Bill back in Amsterdam.
Explain what he did last time. He's over there trying to tell his coach, I did this. You know? It looked like one of those up-downs. Remember up-downs, you know, where you tap your feet and you hit the ground?
Big Jerry, 159.
Now he's practicing his law. He's politicking over there.
Jones on first down for the Monarchs. Looks like a wide open Malone, and it's broken up. Jeff Russell came over and stopped it. Jones could have thrown that better because Malone was wide open.
That's the thing. The ball was just late getting there. It looked like slow motion. Hung up there forever, and Jones just ran over and stuck his hand out.
Let me go back to Jerry Kraft and his 159. I mean, you went on the treadmill in the gym this morning, and you're asking me how many kilos you
I
weigh.
had to figure it out.
And you've never heard of a kilo before, and I don't know how much you weigh. What did I have you down as? 230 kilos? 236?
Yeah, and I entered it in. It says it doesn't go that high.
I had you at about 450 pounds. I know you're big, Bill, but you're not that big. Jones scrambling, gets it off. Great catch by Avram Smith. Figaro just lowered the boom, and Smith held on for the toughest 5-yard catch he'll ever make.
Yeah, sure was. Figaro was there to say hello to him. He arrived the same time the ball did. We see Ridgely chasing Preston Jones out of the pocket, and Preston wants to get rid of it at someone else's expense.
3rd and 5, Jones goes over the middle, and they're saying it's incomplete. Ronnie West.
Yeah, that should be a flag. It's about, yeah, I was going to say, he was over top of him. J. Phillips, 29, was over top of Titley before the ball got there.
And that's the call, and that's the break they needed. Now Luganville arguing furiously with the officials, walking onto the field. He never gives it up.
Interference. Defense, number 29. First down.
Phillips assessed, the ball spotted at the 39-yard line. 7 minutes, 3 seconds remaining. Jay Phillips has come back from that shoulder problem. He just landed this week and just has slotted right back in tonight.
Oh, they've made a lot of changes. Amsterdam's made a lot of changes this week.
Jones on first down goes upstairs, looks for Davis, and that could be picked up. Davis with a great catch. His second great catch of the night inside the 10. They worked Tommy Johnson. It looked like a possible interception for Johnson, and Davis stepped up and made a huge play, and he's a plus for the Monarchs tonight.
Boy, they needed him. You know, with Allen being out, they had to go out and get more receivers. And they got Terrence Davis. Now, Terrence Davis was allocated to Scotland by Kansas City.
Jones looks, just dumps it off to Smith, who jumps and falls at about the 4-yard line. That'll bring up a second down and goal.
And in training camp, when Terrence Davis was in training camp in Scotland, he signed like a waiver saying, you know, release, I got to go home. His wife was having a baby and wanted to be with her. And now he's ready to play again, and London called up and got him, and boy, what a plus he's been. And this is with only being here 48 hours.
The story was he was changing his baby's diaper when the phone went. Incomplete from Preston Jones.
Well, at least the phone went and the baby didn't win. You know what I mean?
Little baby Janice, Terrence Davis. And he definitely has been a major factor in this game. 2 big catches. The man from the Kansas City Chiefs. There've been some pluses for the Monarchs in this game.
There's been a lot of pluses. They can do a lot of things. They just cannot do them consistently.
Third downs. A great inconsistency for the London Monarchs all season long. It's been a bit better tonight, but still not as consistent as Lionel Taylor would like. Flag comes in. Jones throws it away, looking in the direction of Mike Titley. There was coverage there, but the flag came in early.
And that's the line judge.
And it's against the Monarchs. So they may decline this one given the opportunity. Bring up the 4th down. Cedric Figueroa, the former St. Louis Ram, in there. 2 years ago, he was the dominant linebacker in this World League. Al Luganville really looked on him as the defensive captain.
That's an illegal tip on the offense. 2 minutes without getting reset. Penalties declined. 4th down.
Don Silvestri stays on the sideline for the London Monarchs as Preston Jones elects to go for it, or rather Lionel Taylor says let's go for it, which they may as well do. They have nothing to lose, the Monarchs. 4th down and goal from the 4. Jones looks in the direction of Todrick Malone. He can't get it. Tommy Jones there to break it up. Malone furious with the official. He wanted pass interference. And Preston Jones' face said it all.
Yeah, it did, and he's mad at himself because that was the fade route, and the ball wasn't put in the right spot.
But really an impossible situation for Preston Jones, coming in with the game gone, and you've got to make plays. And that was tough. It was close, but close for London Monarchs has not been good enough tonight. You think Al Luganville's going to crack a smile before this final gun?
I think he's got a few games to go yet before he cracks a smile. He wasn't real happy when we talked to him yesterday.
No. Dawkins in the backfield. It's Dawkins that gets the carry, and not much. Herman Smith is there to wrap him up after a couple. And there's a scramble for the ball. The Monarchs think that may have been coughed up. Newbill pointing the way, and they have got it. A Dawkins fumble brings up 1st and goal again for the Monarchs.
Well, there's a bunch of people there to greet him. Herman Smith was there, Jeff Hunter.
Smith is still in the bottom of that heap as well. This defense hasn't given it up. Ben Williams in there as well.
Oh, it's out. It's definitely out. That ball was out before he got hit. No question about that. Ralph Dawkins either he tried to tuck it away, or he was probably looking for a hole as he got filled so quickly. Didn't know where the ball was.
It looked like Emil Palmer may have been So, hope springs eternal for Preston Jones and the London Monarchs. Smith and Hobbs in the backfield. Malone in motion. Jones looks, finds Malone, who trips, twists, turns, and gets nothing. Second and goal from the 5.
Good jerk this.
The temper's starting to boil over here. Todrick Malone getting into some pushing and shoving, and a flag coming in.
That's going against London. Nick, you've talked about London's opportunities. They have had opportunities to make plays. They've done things well, but things like this is that's terrible. And we've seen it the whole game. Personal foul.
I'm not condoning that at all. But how do you throw a flag on that, but not on the A-frame? You have to have some consistency.
Now the league states that the A-train is definitely
taunting after a touchdown.
I said you're allowed to celebrate. Well, is that considered a celebration, or is that a legitimate taunt?
Well, let me ask you the question.
I would be offended.
You would be offended. If you were on the field and the other team that scored on you did that, how would you feel?
Yeah, you know, I would be offended. You're right. But they were then in the back of the end zone. They were celebrating. It wasn't like they did it in front of the other team.
On the offense, number 84. 15-yard penalty, still first down.
Just frustration for Todrick Malone.
He's still talking about it. And that's what you see. In pro football, you're going to get angry, and you can't let that get the better of you. Because all you're going to end up doing is hurting your team, and then yourself getting kicked out of the game.
Davis and Malone, the wideouts. The ball carrier is Ed Hobbs, who just runs straight through one guy, can't run through the second guy, and he'll pick up 5 yards, and now there's more pushing and shoving. Lamar Mills of the Admirals involved in the thick of this. And remember, sparks do fly when these two teams meet, and Amsterdam are a team that's noted for taunting opponents verbally when they get on top. So you can imagine there's some interesting conversations going on there.
Well, yeah, you're right. And I think a lot of the frustration, though, for the Monarchs isn't only the scoreboard, but what they've done to themselves.
Second and goal from the 15. Jones looks, has a man, and Mike Titley can't hang on to it. Jeff Russell breaking it up.
Just got a piece.
He's made some big plays tonight, Jeff Russell. Lost his place in the starting lineup to Jay Phillips, but he's still making plays.
That'll do it. Anytime you get competition, there's Titley. You see the hands, Russell just got a piece of the ball. Just enough to knock it out. Played in the Arena League last year. Actually, this is his first legitimate pro team. Arena League is pro ball, but it is Arena. Not official NFL rule side.
He's hustled, and Jones is being hustled here, and down he goes. A huge sack. Guess who?
And you know what's interesting? You see the kind of game he's having, and it's interesting. You know, they brought Jay Phillips back, and they inserted him into the starting lineup. Off the left side, untouched. Like I told you before, did you see Lamb? Lamb came out there and tried to pick him up. Now, for the center to come all the way out from the center position to get to the corner and try to pick up a fast safety, that's near impossible to do.
Fourth and goal at the 26. Desperation time for the Monarchs. Jones airs it up, looks in the direction of Davis, and it's broken up, knocked away. Robert O'Neill there. Davis had no shot at that whatsoever. And with 3:17 left, the Monarchs are thinking miracles now.
Well, to the left of your screen is where Terrence Davis is. And he's on his go route. He's been here 48 hours, and he's done 3 routes tonight, and they've been go routes. Twice he's beaten them. But this time, O'Neill came over for safety help. And they converged on the ball as it was in the air.
But he's done some stuff tonight that will impress not only the Monarchs, but also the Kansas City Chiefs to come in and have the game he's had when you've only been in the country for 48 hours, only in Europe for 48 hours. And Jay Fiedler has only been in the country for about 6 days. So he's a seasoned veteran by Terrence Davis's standards. He was with the Philadelphia Eagles last year, and irony of ironies, was with London in their training camp last season before electing that the Monarchs were not for him. Well, he's in the World League now with Amsterdam, and his handoff is to Brent Moss, who just stuffs it up the middle where he meets Rick Newville and company.
And I suspected we'd see him one way or another. Jay Fielder was a guy who was with the Philadelphia Eagles in '95. He was allocated over here last year. Went home, was out of football this fall, and now he's back in. And I think Al wants to get him in. Now, the score is obviously a blowout here for Amsterdam. But if you actually look at the job Mike McCoy's done, not big numbers. And if Al Luginbill's looking down the long haul of things, he's got to get Fiedler ready to play. It's a good move getting him in here, getting him some reps and learning this
on the defense,
offense.
5-yard penalty, still first down.
Another penalty against the defense for London.
No, well, they made a mistake because 91 was in the huddle, and that's Tom Tovo.
And Tom Tovo is a national. And when you see the flag of Europe, that means the national player's got to be on the field on that series.
Lionel's hot.
And rightly so. Tovo was out there, number 91. But it's first down and 5. Fiedler just bringing Latario Rashal back. Getting him behind the line of scrimmage. And he'll stay on the ground again. Brent Moss just plows his way close to first down yardage. Herman Smith wrapping him up. But one of those nights when the big things and the little things have gone wrong for Lionel Taylor. Even the officials are conspiring against him now.
He said 91 to the game. He's had enough problems. He doesn't need anything else extra thrown on top of him. That was a mistake.
Well, ironically, that's the British official there, Bill Boucher, from Newbury in England. He's having to deal with the sharp edge of Lionel's tongue. And Harvey Franklin in the game at wide receiver. Wide left, the Dutchman for the Amsterdam Admirals, but it's Brent Moss just grinding it out. Tough yardage, in fact negative yardage for Moss. Now that will bring up the 2-minute warning. Amsterdam just killing the clock, nothing fancy, not trying to rub London's face in it. And the clock stops at the 2-minute warning with the Admirals in control, leading 34-6. We'll be back with the rest of the action in just a couple of moments.
Crank it up.
You gotta fight for your rights.
Presenting the Heavy 80s. All your favorite 80s hits in one fantastic collection. Get the Heavy 80s for just $9.99 on compact disc or double-length cassette. That's 18 awesome hits. Here I go again. Going down the only road I've ever known. I won't sit while I die, baby. Audition other great 80s albums. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Here I am. The Heavy 80s is not sold in stores, so call now. To order Heavy 80s, call 1-800-931-9977. That's 1-800-931-9977. Or send $9.99 for cassette or CD, plus $3.50 shipping and handling to Heavy 80s, Department 8, Richmond, Virginia, 23280. Today's game has been brought to you by Dockers Khakis. Hey, nice band.
But another night of disappointment and frustration for the London Monarchs. Just 2 minutes left in the ball game. Amsterdam in control. Jay Fiedler really presiding over the last rites of this ball game, and all the changes that Al Luginbill made during the week seem to have reaped a dividend This is a different team. Fiedler scrambling. It's Fiedler on the hoof and brought up short. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you, Bill?
Fiddler on the hoof. All day long, I biddy bum. Is that it? Huh? Fiddler. I like that, Nick. Yeah,
it's a little something. A new face for the Admirals. One of many new faces. I tell you, the airport was busy. Woolfolk, McSeed, Lambert, Dickerson and Chandler told thanks but no thanks. The Dutchman Frank Temming deciding to go back to his day job. Jay Phillips and Roosevelt Collins. In fact, Roosevelt Collins was sent home after week 1. They flew him back out again.
all those changes this week.
And it's kind of like getting to know you time again. Third down. Fiedler not on the hoof. This time gives it to Ralph Dawkins, who picks up the first down with 1:11 left. And more pushing and shoving and ungentlemanly sort of stuff on the field.
You know, Nick, back to all the change in personnel. One of the things Al Luganbill said, he goes, I, next year, am going to push for 1 preseason game. Because it takes me a game or 2 games to find out what I actually have. And then once he found out what he had, he knew right away he had to make changes. And he made those changes, and it's paid off for him in 1 week.
You see, he was in the middle of all that pushing and shoving was Harvey Franklin, the Dutch wide receiver, who's only been for about 2 plays, and he's getting involved straight away. Feisty little character, number 84.
I think in London's the people that are fighting. A lot of pushing and shoving going on out of frustration.
Well, there's only 33 seconds of frustration left for the Monarchs. Dawkins plowing his way straight through the middle. Ed Bowman was there, Herman Smith was there, Kevin James was there. And that should just about wrap it up. Who have not travelled well. Kevin James coming off holding his shoulder very badly. The last thing the Monarchs need is another injury. But Al Luganbill has come up with a big win just when he needed it. And these fans love it. 34-6 here in Amsterdam. Al Luganbill gets his team back to winning ways at the expense of the London Monarchs. A.C. Tellison had that 49-yard touchdown catch in the first half that really helped to break it open for the Admirals.
I'll tell you, I was glad to see them finally get a win. Now, London has some problems that they have to address. Some bright spots, but they need consistency. This whole league, Nick, is unfolding. A Barcelona loss can really make everybody still players in this race to who's going to host the World Bowl in Week 5.
And Al Luganbill is one coach you'd never rule out of contention. A great motivator. He's got his team back on track, and it's still a long season, still 7 weeks to go. But it's a night of dominance for the Amsterdam Admirals, and the final touchdown, the final nail in the London coffin, Ron Carpenter's interception, the fumble in the end zone, recovered by Jay Phillips. A night that summed up London's frustration. Joy for Amsterdam. They beat London 34-6. From Bill Mars and Mina Calling, bye-bye for now.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Presenting Sounds of the 70s. All your favorite 70s hits in one fantastic collection. Get Sounds of the 70s for just $9.99 on compact disc or double-length cassette. That's 22 fabulous hits.
What kind of feeling? Rock me gently, rock me slowly. Billy, don't be a hero, don't be a fool with your life.
Then audition other great Sounds of the 70s albums. There's no minimum to buy. Cancel anytime. So call now.
To order Sounds of the 70s, call 1-800-608-4499 or send $9.99 for cassette or CD, plus $3.50 shipping to Sounds of the 70s, Department 16, Richmond, Virginia.
Eric Clemens back at our FX studios in New York. There will be no winless teams in the World League this year. Amsterdam getting off the schneid with a big 34-6 victory. Let's recap it for you. Amsterdam Arena, beautiful new stadium. The roof open, and it rained there later, but early on, lightning struck. Ron Carpenter receiving the opening kickoff 50 yards later. He's brought down at the 35 to set his team up in good shape. Brent Moss of the Rams runs it in from 8 yards for TD, 7-0 Admiral. In the second quarter, Mike McCoy in at quarterback, hitting another former quarterback, Robert Hall, 48 yards, sets up a touchdown by Ralph Dawkins. 5-yard score, and Amsterdam has a 14-0 lead. And London offensive line coach Bob Nishak saying, I think we can get this together, guys. If we just stick together, we can hang in here. Wasn't to be this evening. Fourth quarter, Stan White passes, and it is intercepted by Ron Carpenter. He'll get it to the 1. He's trying to fancy footwork his way into the end zone. Whoops, fumble the football. Look how it lays there. Just all alone. Finally, Jay Phillips recovers. It is a touchdown, and there is the Caterpillar crawl. The Amsterdam Admirals moving to 1-2 on the season, winning it 34-6. Coming up next, Game 2 of our World League doubleheader here in Week 3. It is the Frankfurt Galaxy against the Barcelona Dragons. Stay with us.